Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The first injury report of the week is not out just yet, but what we do know is that there are 7 former Titans that are among the 173 modern-era nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2024. Those include Steve McNair, Eddie George, Derek Mason, Lorenzo Neal, Samari Roll, Gary Anderson, and it just says, it's weird to say this, but Andre Johnson. And, of course, also Mike Vrabel, the current head coach of the team. Now, as far as some injuries around the NFL has gone, Anthony Richardson is going to be back at practice today for the Colts. He is still in concussion protocol, but they expect him to possibly be available on Sunday. Don't forget, the Titans take on the Colts next week. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It is Wednesday, which means...
Day.
Oh, he's decked out today, boy. He is
already, and it's just Wednesday.
Today.
Oh, it's time. It's time. We right there.
He
We're
has
at the door.
his Tennessee bedazzled chain
Gigantic
on.
power tee.
Who did the chain gang
Yeah,
make that for
Chain
you?
Gang made this one. Yep. I gotta take it back to him.
Do you know that they hand stone that?
Yes, they told me.
Somebody who knows how long it takes to glue rhinestones to things, because
how
remember
difficult
last
this is.
Halloween,
You
I
do.
was like, oh, Princess Leia, I'm
Yep.
going to put rhinestones all over her costume. Dumb. That takes hours and hours and hours.
Does it, Babsy?
Yes.
Look how they came through for me. And I accidentally broke some off by posting my video because I got too excited. So I'm about to send it to the shop.
Needs
Slade
a
did post
repair.
a video
Chain
today
gang make it happen.
on... Was that on Twitter or Instagram or
That's
both?
on everything.
Everything.
Can't miss.
The Ron Slay on
Yeah.
everything?
Gots to pay back.
Can't miss it.
It's Slay saying everything's personal,
Yeah,
and then he's dancing.
that's right. That is exactly what it is.
With kind of a... No, not even like
Nah,
that.
yeah,
It's
this
just
was-
kind of a throwback
This
groove.
is like that's
You know what I
it was.
mean?
It was a groove.
It was a groove.
That's exactly what it
Basically
was.
two-stepping.
You can find this at any juke joint. Find me at a juke joint.
I will say
Well,
that I
man.
saw Coach Heupel finally said, look, man, it can be personal for the fans. I'm all about that.
Did he?
He
Yeah.
did say that?
He did.
See,
Okay.
I didn't. We on the same damn wavelength.
Yeah. He's like, now we have to take it as an opportunity to go play football and be buttoned up and play better and all these things.
When did he say that, yo?
Today, I saw it on social media. Let me see if I...
It was during the SEC teleconference.
He must have got word.
Here it is.
He must have got word.
That the fans were like, no, hold up, coach.
No,
Yeah,
he got
no.
word that Slay was
I was gonna put
leading
this,
a
I was
revolt.
gonna put this out last night, and I said, you know what? I'll wait till the day because I was on the back porch having a good time, and some words probably wouldn't have been
Here's what he said
PG.
on the SEC teleconference. For our fan base, if they want to use last year as motivation, I got no problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
For us, it's about our preparation and how we practice.
Kiss my butt, man. Oh, what I was going. What I said.
He is right on your page.
He's
Yeah.
dialed in. He's dialed in.
I'm
Or his
proud of
people
that.
are.
Yeah, somebody. You
got
got to have
people
a
in
good
that
team,
building.
though. You got to have some good reps around.
There's some
you.
people in that building from Nashville
I might have sent some whispers.
that are probably pretty well aware of what you do and what we do every day.
Without question. This is very, very
Speaking
true.
of, hello to everyone in the Titans facility. What's up, y'all?
What
Hi,
up,
guys.
y'all?
Let's get one.
Don Davenport is here, y'all.
Hi.
What up, Babsy?
Let's go.
That's bonk.
It is
That's
bonk.
bonk.
Everything's
Twitch,
bonk
please.
today.
Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
What up, Betsy?
What's up, people?
Auburn hosting Georgia. What do you think?
I hate football.
Babsy? In the South, you can't
So
utter those
let
words.
me tell you,
Todd-
Auburn, Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Rivalry?
The city or the rivalry?
No, the rivalry.
Okay, I didn't know if he's like Auburn,
No.
Alabama. Okay.
Auburn versus Alabama is Hunk. You are from Alabama. You live in Alabama.
Yeah, I hate
you know
Alabama
all that,
people.
right? So that's like the big.
So harsh.
That is a big rivalry. That's the big rivalry for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me. Never has been. Always been Georgia.
Yeah,
I'm
because
from
your
Georgia.
mom
My mom is a bulldog.
is a bulldog, yeah.
Yep, she was very upset. My brother made the correct decision and went to Auburn as well. Poor mom. So, Auburn, Georgia has always been, I graduated from high school in Peachtree City, Georgia. A ton of my friends went to Georgia. My
Yep, it is a
sister-in-law is
massive
a Georgia
rivalry, for
bulldog.
sure.
So that is all. This is the rivalry that always means the most to me.
Historically speaking, they
Personally.
play weird games too.
And there was, for a long time,
weird games.
it was the away team that
would win.
always
That's
won.
right.
It was like 7 years in a row.
So Todd Fuhrman started texting me and Dawn. He said, I tried to text Slay, but it wouldn't go through because he has one of those weird phones.
Because now he's stupid.
Because he has an Android.
That is so dumb.
So he
phone.
just took you off our text
He
chain.
did.
Good. I don't want to
He
be on
did.
there anyway.
Well, you're going to hear it.
I don't really want to hear it.
Cover your ears.
Okay. There it
Auburn,
goes.
this from Brandon Zimmerman. Auburn has thrown for fewer than 100 yards in 5 consecutive Power 5 games dating to last season.
Blah.
Say that
Less than
again.
Keep
100.
going. Keep going.
It's a lot to dig into here. Auburn has thrown for fewer than 100 yards. Thrown for fewer than 100 yards in 5 consecutive games against Power 5 schools, dating back to last year.
Brian Harsin.
So here it is, and going backwards. A&M, they threw for 56. Lost by 17 to A&M. The line against Georgia is 14.5.
Some ain't it's like I don't know who making it. Some ain't right.
I think it's an indication of where Georgia is with Vegas.
Yeah.
They just haven't played anybody, so you don't notice.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I
people
thought you were
close to
saying
the
something
situation-
ain't right in Auburn. I'm like, yeah, they don't have a quarterback.
No, but people see. That's what I'm saying. People's close to the situation. It should be more than 14. Don't you agree? You think it should be closer?
That's why I think it's an
100%.
indictment on Georgia
Yeah.
and what their power number is.
Well,
We just
okay.
haven't seen it because they haven't played anybody.
In fairness, though, that Auburn defense is pretty nasty.
It is.
I mean, they were a 27-point favorite against South Carolina, and they struggled in that game. What were they against UAB? 30-something?
Yeah.
And it was 28-14
That was close.
at almost halftime?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Having said all that, maybe Georgia goes out and gets it all together. Who knows?
Well, let's hope
But
they wait another week.
Let's
to
go
do
back.
that.
Okay, 5 games in a row, fewer than 100 yards passing. This is incredible for an SEC team. So 56 yards passing against A&M last time out, 94 yards passing against Cal. They did win that game. Then you go back to last year, they had 77 yards passing against Bama, 60 against A&M, 75 against Mississippi State. You want more?
I mean, might as well.
There's more.
Going downhill, no brakes on this one.
This from Mark Enos about this stat. All 3 service academies have thrown for more than 100 yards versus a Power 5 team more recently than Auburn has.
All 3.
And
Not
who is
just
it?
one.
Who is it? Army that don't even run, Navy that don't even pass the ball?
No,
Navy
Navy's,
doesn't.
Yeah,
Army
Navy
is
just-
throwing it this year.
Army's
they have a
throwing
quarterback.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've gone against what
And
they
Navy
normally
has
do.
a new coach
Okay, so maybe
for the
everybody-
first
yeah.
time in, 16 years. So.
But what are we talking about?
An Air Force.
Auburn's best offense is the triple option right now. I mean, it really is.
Wowzers.
Isn't that crazy?
Basketball school.
Dawn's response to Todd sharing these with us was, "I hate football."
Hey, man.
My response was also, screw you, Brian Harsin, which I do like him as a person outside of being Auburn's coach. I don't know if you saw Chris Lowe wrote an article about him last spring, and it said Brian Harsin is back in Idaho and thriving in his post-Auburn life, to which my response was, yeah, so is Bo Nix.
Very true.
to which Todd responded, "So is Don Davenport."
Very true.
Here's some more stats from Todd Fuhrman that Slay didn't get. If all this from Area Gerson, who is here in Nashville, Tennessee, I think. If all points off turnovers were removed for both teams,
Yeah.
all points off turnovers were removed for both teams, here would be the scores of all the Vanderbilt games this year. Vandy 35, Hawaii 28, 1-0. Vanderbilt 47, Alabama A&M 13, 2-0. Wake Forest 26, Vanderbilt 20, 2-1. Vanderbilt 30, UNLV 27, 3-1. Vanderbilt 25, Kentucky 24, 4-1.
Wow.
Protect the damn
Wow.
football.
How about that?
Hey,
Wow.
do you know what my response was? What do you always say? Where do those ifs and fists belong?
Right down there at the corner store.
That was my response.
It's loaded down there, too.
I'm like, that's great and wonderful. Ifs
Yep.
and fists.
Yeah.
Go hang out at the corner store, as Slay says.
Dawn comes at Todd with that. Todd comes back with like Rain Man stuff that he uses.
Yeah.
This is where we go to find value. Like he's talking about this is how we put our power board
Wow.
together, like our strength. Our
That's
power numbers together.
crazy, though, for it to be.
They would be 4-1, needing one win to go over the win total.
So in hindsight, we were not wrong as far as picking Vanderbilt to go.
Oh, you're turning it on this.
Yeah, like
In hindsight.
we would have been we would have hit the over because everything that we would have said,
If they just didn't turn the ball
They
over.
just didn't turn the ball over. But I also go back to this is who you chose.
How different would
At quarterback?
do you think
Yep.
they would
He's
look
second
with
in
Mike
the
Wright?
SEC in yards.
What is he, first in turnovers?
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta be close.
How different do you think they would look with Mike Wright?
I think it would be totally different. Reason being, because when those plays, I think that's what the wild card was last year.
Yeah.
Like Mike wasn't accurate. Like okay, we know that, but
Right.
No,
when
but
those
just
plays
turn him
broke
loose.
down
Turn him loose.
and he started scrambling and running, like imagine how many 70-yard runs he had, 60-yard runs, and even the ones he didn't score, but being able to keep the chains moving, like that is different. Swan is a good quarterback, no question, pocket passer. I ain't seen the athleticism in him if he has it, because the instinct to get away is totally different, and you don't have a line like that yet. You are recruiting towards that.
I was going to say, which is fine
Yeah.
if you want to go with that kind of a quarterback, but you better
You gotta
have a
have some
line to
protection.
protect him.
Yeah,
Ricky
you gotta have
Ricky
protection.
says Vandy's
Tennessee
win total
Titans.
was 3.5. We got it at 4.
Yeah, we got it at 4.
We're not lying to you, Ricky.
Yeah,
We got you.
it's all good, bro.
There's all different numbers everywhere.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we got it at
picked up
4.
early. Yeah, like we
got it early.
So the double back.
Yeah, maybe. We're going the other way. Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building. Good payback. Rocket Top. This car ain't got no rules.
He's got his black captain T-shirt on.
That's right. And I got a what is it?
Is that a black and orange checkerboard in the sea? Where? In the sea.
Rocket Top. Oh no, that's Chappelle.
Oh, Chappelle.
went to
You're going
Chappelle's
Chappelle show.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was Hunt
Oh, you went
the
to
one that
Chappelle's.
texted?
I thought that was captain with the orange and black checkerboard. I was like, heck yeah.
That's it.
Well, I was going to say, was it Hunk that texted us and said, would they ever do the orange and black?
Yeah,
checkerboard?
He sure
Yeah.
did.
Looks so good,
Oh
though.
my gosh, that would be amazing, would it not?
But do y'all know how long?
Mayor's
was
all
kinda-
up in
it is a
Slade.
Just saying, if you're
Checkerboard,
going to
though.
dive all
It was a
in,
checkerboard.
orange and black checkerboard in the end zones would go with the orange and black uniforms.
I
It
mean,
would
I'm
look-
sorry, but that would be sweet.
But
Yeah,
guess
they
what?
ain't doing that.
You can't
Do
do
you know
that.
how many
'cause that's-
complaints it is about these alternate jerseys?
Yeah.
Imagine if they changed the end
Oh my
zone.
God! What? They would think Nealon would raise up out of the 50-yard line.
I think most people are okay with it now. Because they know the players like it, the recruits
Yeah.
like it. It does look cool.
The recruits is really good for them.
I mean,
but
you want to get players?
hey man, but still, it ain't nothing like
all
that
that
traditional
matters.
orange and white. Yeah, Oregon set the precedent.
Yeah, I don't want to go crazy with it, but, you know,
Oregon went crazy.
once in
Oh,
a
they're
while.
crazy.
Yeah. I think it's cool like it is. You got the black, you got the gray. I think it was a good job honoring Condridge and that era.
That was.
Then let's get back to the orange and white.
Uh,
The white
th-
with the orange helmets was a nice touch.
Thursday, coming up on the show tomorrow, we will be out and about. Buffalo Wild Wings in Smyrna is where we will be. We'll
Smyrna
be
dog.
giving away Titans tickets, merch. The Miller Lite Wash Away Toast will happen.
Yes.
Slay is back. He'll have
Woo.
to outdo the guest
No.
celebrity.
Oh, I'm sure
I
that'll
think
be
Babsy
tough.
added a twist to it. I think she said we were funneling now.
Oh, well,
No,
I gotta
no.
get into funnel shape.
No, that's in
okay.
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
good.
Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, November
okay.
30th.
I
Yeah,
got
the
you.
chain gang is in charge of that.
Oh,
not
okay.
us.
Oh, that's when we go back to Clarksville?
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet Slay already went and bought a funnel.
I'm ready.
You didn't
Where
need
the
to
heck
buy
do you
one.
buy
Go
a
and
funnel
buy one.
nowadays?
Anywhere,
You can
gas
get 'em-
station.
hey, listen, you can get them in Halloween stores right now with like skulls on them and stuff.
Yeah, you'll want to go wicked with it.
Of course he does.
I want to drink out of
Coming
the
up on
skull.
Friday, the original Scoreboard Bar and Grill at Aubreyland on Music Valley Drive will be there as well. 615-737-1045, always the number. We do have a guest coming up next. You will want to hear from him. Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Titans got hammered by Cleveland, preparing for Cincinnati. All that coming up. Coach Mack next, 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Listen, up on Rocket Tops, the lights will go out. It is dark mode activated. And if you got a Cove generator, I'm going to ask you to please unplug it in this situation because we don't want them to come back on. But if you're here in the city and you need it, storms, whatever it may be, bad weather, doesn't matter, electricity goes out, Cove generators, man, it always comes right back on. Boop! In the nick of time.
And you know we're getting into storm season here in Middle Tennessee. So Cove Generators is your premier Generac home standby generator dealer. And they got a deal going on right now until October 8th. Call them today for a free new 10-year warranty. That's like a decade of warranty, huh?
A lot of money.
With purchase of a Generac home standby generator now through October 8th, that's over $1,000 value. Terms and conditions may apply. You just have to call them for details, but you'll never lose power again.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Anyway, hit them 931-559-3311. 931-559-3311. Go on and call for details.
CoveGenerators.com. Stay connected through it all.
Buddy Allen Carpet One here to keep you comfortable at home with the Cozy Up to Carpet Flooring Sale. Visit our friends at Buddy Allen now through November 6th to get big savings on carpets of every style, pattern, and texture. Need a little financing help? Enjoy 0 interest if paid in full within 18 months. Stop by the store in Donaldson today. 2405 Lebanon Pike in Donaldson, to be exact, to get details and guidance from the flooring experts. Visit BuddyAllenCarpet1.com for details or just stop by the store, 2405 Lebanon Pike in Donaldson. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Joe Hunk.
Hey.
So,
Titans. Titans
What is
Bengals coming
Hunk
up.
laughing at?
so Coach Mack and I, we were just talking as I was getting him on about some of his audio that he had from the game on Sunday. And this is the one that I was talking about with him.
Okay. When it rains, it pours, Coach Mack.
Yeah, and it's pouring right now.
It's been pouring for a while.
I'll tell you who's poor is Steratore. That's poor.
He called
I
out
heard
one
that.
ref like multiple times.
Coach Mack joins us now thanks to our friends at Two Rivers Ford. When in doubt, turn toward the officials. Right,
Well,
Coach?
no, they deserve it. I mean, they had nothing to do with. I mean, they called it bad both ways. You see the play on the sideline where they called the dude stepping out of bounds. Look,
That was horrible.
guys. Well, thank you. You can come up there with me next time and say that.
Oh, he will.
I coached for 31 years and couldn't say anything, or it cost me 50 or 100K. And so, I'd express it every now and then when they're bad. But it's not good right now. Some of it. Look, I understand it's a hard job, but when it's obvious and you just keep administering the game, I'm gonna call it out because I mean, coaches get called out when they're not successful. Players get called out. They can't find me now, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything that the film won't grade out that I'm right. So there we go.
No, in all seriousness, there were weird calls all the way around in that one. You're right. On both sides.
Yeah, and again, you got to take the officials out of the game, but they're not out of the game. So anyway, let's move on.
They are.
But believe me, I've had so many fans hit me up through that time saying, Coach Mack, we really love that because that's exactly what we're thinking, and we're screaming at the TV, but nobody can hear us.
It's true.
Coach Mack presented by Two Rivers Ford. Just going to let you get it all out. I didn't know if you were done. Just going to let you get it all out.
Get him, Mac. Get him, Mac.
Hey, how often do teams watch the game film like all together, not just in position rooms? Like, does that happen when it goes really bad sometimes?
Sometimes. I mean, it just depends on, where you are in the season. Sometimes you do, but again, you've got to. And here's what I used to do, and most coaches do, head coaches do. The team meeting, they won't show the whole thing just running continuous. They'll show clips. Okay, you can now the way they do everything electronically, you can cut up clips immediately, and that's what most head coaches will do in the team meeting is show clips, both good and bad, to both sides together, all three phases. So that happens a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I imagine that Denver Broncos facility taking that Miami Dolphins film positionally was a lot of fun for them.
Well, probably not.
All right. What was the big takeaway from Cleveland? Like how easy is it to fix things that just go wrong all over the place in 1 week time?
Well, sometimes you lose, but sometimes you just get beat. They got beat. I mean, they got beat, and then if you get beat, you got to drill down, which they do, on find out the reasons why. Is it individuals? Is it groups? Is it not understanding what's being asked? Is it refusing to do what has been asked, or is it just getting beat? And if you're getting beat, if you're getting beat physically one-on-one, and you're going to be out there on the field, it's your job. You got to decide sooner or later to stick your cleats in the ground and say, I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not going to be that dude that's a problem. So all of those things happened in this game, but they got beat. Some games you lose. There's a difference in losing and then just getting beat straight up. They got beat in that ball game.
And that's what I was leaning to yesterday, Coach Mack, on the get back and the bounce back game. At some point, you got to stand up, and you hear it from the defense in their press conferences, after the game. You heard Big Jeff talking, but also at the same time, Big Jeff elaborated and said that, hey, man, all the talking needs to be done too. Like, we just got to go get some action. How important is it? Important on both sides of the ball to establish the line of scrimmage. And in the losses, it seems to me that's where it's lost for us.
Well, that's in every National Football League game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still with everything that's done to spread out scoring and to do all the stuff you want to do with the motion, it's still a big man's game. If you can't capture the line of scrimmage more times than your opponent on the offensive or the defensive side of the football, you're not going to be in it. You're really not, unless it's some fluke and unless turnovers come into it, unless a team has, either for or against, some advantageous explosive play. But if time after time after time you are losing that battle up front with the big men in the National Football League through the grind of a 17-game season. It's not going to be good for you. You've got to start winning there first, because that's where it all starts. It doesn't start anywhere else but there, and then everything else germinates off of that.
How did the Titans start winning there?
Well, they just on offense or defense.
Offense.
They got to block the people. I mean, look, there's not a play that's designed to leave anybody unblocked. There's not one play designed. And, I did Mac Talk last night, which was great. We had lines that were full for the whole hour. And,
I bet they were.
Said, well, sure they were, which is fine. That's what Mac Talk is for. And I absolutely love it, to let everybody vent, let everybody talk. But one caller said, why would they continue to call plays they know won't work? Well, you never call a play that you don't think is going to work. Right. I've never been in one game plan meeting in 31 years where we said, okay, here's what we're going to do. It's not going to work, but let's do it. Because believe me, as important as it is for everybody that called into Mac Talk and that calls into you guys all the time, it's crucial. It's vital to these coaches and players. It's their livelihood. I mean, it's not a hobby for them. It's their livelihood. So believe me, what they are doing is trying to do everything to their best ability to win. Now, if you start getting beat and you start getting beat repeatedly, then you've got to figure that out. And there's different reasons why you get beat. Sometimes if you're just overmatched physically, that's life in the National Football League. But if you're aiding the fact that someone's beating you by not doing the proper techniques and not putting the hat in the right place, talking about offense, if you're not staying on the double team like you're supposed to stay on the double team for long enough, those types of things, those can be corrected.
Coach Mack with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford, talking about the offensive line. Man, they got to figure out a way to make Ryan Tannehill feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Because, he's got to be kind of shell-shocked back there with as much pressure as being allowed. And he
sounded like that today.
He said today, Coach, I have to go out there and believe that they will make it happen. Man, that doesn't sound confident to me.
Mm-mm.
Well, he's confident, but he's telling the truth. I mean, look, the quarterback on any National Football League team is at the mercy of the production of his blocking unit. And it's not just the offensive lineman. It's the tight ends, too. It's the wideouts that come down in, the backs that are in protection. That's the only way that you can function. I mean, that's the only way that you can function. Yeah, he's confident. And, look, he's a veteran quarterback. We've seen him stand in that cylinder till the last second. So it's not a matter of a lack of courage, but you got to give him help.
Now, Coach Mack, the defensive side of that ball, would you say it's more – because when you're looking at the Saints and the Browns, the front seven, I don't think they're that much better than what's been shown playing against the Titans. So would you say, looking at the defensive side of the ball, are the guys – is it more of a do-your-job type thing and you got to win those one-on-ones, or is it a collective effort of – everybody being dialed in and not having one guy make a mistake? I'm trying to put my finger on it. That's what I'm trying to do, Coach Mack.
Well, first of all, playing defense, it depends on the flow of the game. Okay, It's a lot easier to play defense. It reminded me of the Bear days when I knew walking out. Look, here's what happens with great defenses. If the offense that you're playing against, if you're continually putting them behind the chains, and their offense is not putting points up, so you're not chasing points on defense, that you can turn it loose up front. I mean, you can absolutely, and there's a lot different. I mean, it's the flow of the football game. I mean, this is a talented defensive front, but when you are starting to have to play run and pass 50-50 because the score is separated, or you don't have many points. I mean, we had 3 points in that ball game, so you're protecting 3 points. It's a hell of a lot different than having a 27-point cushion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so this game, everybody is involved in the outcome of a National Football League game. Everybody on the team, coaches too. So it's all interconnected. You can't just say one thing. I mean, it's easy to say one thing, and it's good because everybody wants a scapegoat, which is human nature. That's fine.
Right.
But I'm just telling you, the way it really works, it's all connected.
Okay. What did you see from the Bengals on Monday night? Joe Burrow, obviously, with this short passing game with that calf injury, Titans going to have to tackle well in that short passing game, I would imagine. Arden Key said the injury makes him a classic pocket quarterback. What did you see from him?
Brent, you're spot on with that. And you got the word, the key is spot tackling, right?
Yeah.
The ball was coming out in that ball game 2.37 seconds. Okay, 2.37 is what the average was coming out in that game. We know he doesn't have his complete mobility, so they were keeping him in the cylinder. But the routes, everything was designed to get out of his hands quick. So what you have to do to combat that, you got to cage rush it, you got to squeeze it, you got to match hands, and then in the back end, depending on down and distance, as to whether you want to get up there and jump on them, or if you want to play zone defense, you've got to trigger, but you've got to, what you just said it, spot tackle. It puts a premium on spot tackling. And they've got 3 receivers that can do a good job with the ball in their hands. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all legitimate dudes with the ball in their hands. And so, and here's the other thing too: you're playing zone defense against a team getting it out that quick, and you're going to spot tackle. Then it has to be vice tackles. You've got to get people in from inside and outside too. It can't just be head up tackles, giving those short throws a two-way go on the primary tackle.
So am I right to think that we'll see limited blitzing? When you look at the numbers don't tell everything, but with that short passing that we did see on Monday, and then you look at this stat, Joe Burrow, the 5th fewest blitzes he has seen out of any quarterback in the NFL. So is that an opportunity to kind of sit back and, as you say, tackle when the ball's there or hit them and cause that disruption?
Yeah, you don't sit back, but you don't look. If you're going to pressure and the ball's coming out that quick, the only place that helps you is if they blow the protection. You know what I'm saying? If they blow the protection and you're bringing more than they can block, well then you may have a chance to get your hands up. You're probably not going to get to him to get him down, but you may have a chance to get your hands up and match hands. You'll hear me say match hands a lot, probably on Sunday. Talking about what they need to do. But if they blow a protection assignment, then bringing somebody, is and again it goes. If you got separation of score, then absolutely you can start bringing some heat. But if you're protecting a 50-50 game, well then you're better off. Either walking up on them and getting tight coverage and playing behind it and playing 4-over-3 or 3-over-2 or but you get your hands up front and you've got to cage rush it. When you're cage rushing, and the ball's coming out quick, you can't void gaps to try to get to him. Now, when you start jumping around and opening up that cylinder, then that's a problem.
One of the things that we talked about the last couple of days was I noticed in the postgame that Mike Vrabel immediately started talking about we got to force more turnovers. We got to get the ball out. And then I heard Big Jeff today. He said, ultimately, this is going to be about affecting him, talking about Joe Burrow. Make him feel uncomfortable, get the ball out. That has to be, I guess, a talking point this week.
Well, sure. I mean, and if it is all the time, but it always is. People say, well, we need more turnovers. I've never known a defensive coach to say, don't turn it over. Okay. I mean, that is a given, but what you have to do to be able to do that, you've got to be in position to be able to either get the ball or to punch it out, just like Sean Murphy-Bunting did on that one. I mean, even if they catch it, doesn't mean they have to control it, with a catch the whole time. So, yes, you need turnovers. And, look, in a National Football League game, you guys well know this, but the 3 things that affect the outcomes more than anything, third down, success or non-success, explosive plays, and turnovers, right? So get all those in your favor, and you got a really good chance week after week.
Love that, man.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Mack Talk was awesome last night. I did miss hearing from Mr. Enthusiastic, though.
Well, here's Mr. Enthusiastic for everybody that wants to know. And again, Rhett and I have helped him out with that cricket phone that we gave him that's up there in the mountains. But he runs out of minutes. He doesn't have money for minutes. And so, as soon as if he can get a hold of us somehow and let us know that his minutes have run out, we'll reload that cricket phone for him because – so you're not going to hear from him every weekend, but we'll hear from him again.
Are you saying Mack Talk can make the magic happen?
Mack Talk got some magical things. Tell you that.
We made the magic happen for that longtime caller. You guys know him too, Eric.
Yep.
Eric, yeah.
I heard that
was
last
dope,
night.
man. That was
that's
dope.
That's really struggling. Coach Mack's fortunate. He's got a lot of friends around this league that listen to that show that I've made throughout the years, and some very legitimate people. And as soon as Eric came on last week and said that he was going to have to give up those tickets after 20 years, I got a text immediately said, we got him.
Yeah, for those that didn't hear that, Eric said he came across some financial difficulties and was going to have to give up his season tickets after 23 years. And you had a buddy that was an angel, as you put
He's
it.
an angel. He's an angel and wants to be an anonymous angel, which is most people that are angels like to be anonymous.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach Mack, real quick, turning the page from then to now. When you being a part of that Bears defense, what is the mentality when you got a wounded duck on the field? Do you got to, and I'm speaking of Joe Burrow.
Choke them out. Choke them out. I mean, it wasn't even close. That was back in the day, though. You know, I had somebody ask me that today at practice. Mac, how did that feel? I said, let me tell you something. That group of dudes, first of all, there was no free agency, no salary cap, right? Yeah. So we got to keep that whole group of really amazing players together for a long time. And the other thing about that is that by keeping them together the whole time, I mean, they knew each other so well. Mm-hmm. I mean, guys, and I'm not speaking out of school, but before some games, I mean, that defensive line would go stand and look at the opponents while they were stretching and tell them, you know, straight to their face, get through stretch, and then we're going to kick your ass.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yes.
Those are some of my favorite teams.
What?
Seriously, those are some of my favorite teams ever. Ooh. Coach Mack knows that. All right, so Bosa, then Myles Garrett, now Hendrickson.
Everybody's got one. Some have two. I mean, everybody's
Does Dillard know it?
You're right. Because Hubbard won, too.
When you're putting people together to try to build a defense, you've got to have those dudes. I mean, and they got and you know, and Hendrickson is really a good player. I mean, coming out of Florida Atlantic, I mean that dude's a real player now. I mean, and Sam Hubbard from Ohio State's not an empty chair. But I tell you, the guy that makes it difficult in there is DJ Reader. There at that defensive tackle. I mean, that is a man mountain right there. He crushes the pocket, you know, so much. The other favorite player I like on their defense after going through it, and of course, you know, I've been at these drafts for 38 years. I know I like Jermaine Pratt a lot. The kid from North Carolina State, the middle linebacker, about 6'3.5", about 250 now. But he's developed into a really good player in 3 years. I really like that player.
Love it, Coach. Appreciate the time, as always. We'll check in next week.
Dawn, you still there?
Yes. I got your restaurant, Rex. Thank you, Coach.
Well, and please go, and believe me, Joe T's over in Fort Worth. It's worth a 30-minute drive. They've only been in business since 1935. Figure that out.
So clearly they're doing something right.
See you guys.
Thanks, Coach Mack.
There he is, Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. When we come back, Joe Milton was rolling on that 81-yard touchdown run to start the game against UTSA. How fast was he going, and how does that compare with the fastest players in the NFL? Be interested to see. Next on 104.5 The Zone.
I just had some of my neighbors use Artisan Custom Closets, and they absolutely loved it. You'll love it, too. I use them to help organize my garage, and now it's beautiful, and everything has a place. And now that summer's over, all the bikes can hang on the wall, and the helmets have a spot. The golf clubs are in their little caddies. Everything is organized since, you know, the rest of my life is just chaos. So if you're like me and you need organization in your house, Artisan Custom Closets can do it. Maybe you have a playroom with toys everywhere. They can help you out and make a beautiful storage solution for you. Maybe you just feel like it's finally time to get that awesome closet. Artisan Custom Closets can do that for you. And here's the deal. If you call them right now, they'll give you 10% off if you tell them you heard about them from Dawn and that you're a Zone listener. 615-800-2199 is their number. 10% off if you're a Zone listener. Say goodbye to clutter. Get your free in-home consultation today. They do closets, pantries, garages, home offices, laundry rooms, mud rooms, bedrooms. They have Murphy beds and much more. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
What's happening, good people? Ron Slay here. I'm already filling out my parsley for this evening. You can Check it out on 3HL on Zone TV, man. Make sure you stay tuned right there at the 5 o'clock hour. I will be giving out the parlay and give it out every single day. But right now, you got to understand that you can't get involved unless you have the Superbook Sports app. So go to your phone, pick it up, download the Superbook Sports app, or go visit superbook.com for your opportunity to start wagering today. And with my reps, I've talked to them, and I told them, hey, man, we need a promo code. They put it together. Promo code is SLAY. How? Simple. You can score up to $250 with your first bet bonus, win or lose, and they will match your first bet up to $250 with the promo code SLAY. That's real simple. When doing the parlay, I would advise to do like a round robin, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. You know the motto, book it.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. Joe Hunt, producer extraordinaire.
What up, he's?
Sup?
Coming up at 4 o'clock, former Titan linebacker Rocky Boiman.
Hey.
Now does a lot of work in Cincinnati, host of the Eddie and Rocky Show on 700 WLW.
Man, Bully loves him.
He does. He brought him up on Friday.
Yeah, Bully messes with Rocky.
8-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champ, ESPN college football analyst, does the Bengals pregame show, preview show. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. And then Todd Fuhrman had been coming on at 4:30. And then Slay yesterday was like, man, we don't get enough out of him right now. Like, can he come up a little earlier, like 4:20?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, he's gonna say he wants more money. And so I texted
Show
him,
me the
and
money.
we asked him, and that's what he sent back, that gift right there.
Oh, really?
I was so right. But he's doing it anyway.
That's good.
4:20. So we'll get more out of Todd talking sports gambling coming up.
And let me just point this out. Even if you are not a sports bettor and you haven't jumped into it, it's fine. The info he gives you so much good insight on matchups. And maybe it's a game that you weren't interested in before, and then what he tells you to watch or that they think will affect the line will make you know more about the matchup.
Because
you know?
they don't just tell you about the line. They tell you how they got there.
Yep.
So they're talking about matchups and analytics, and this team runs the ball in this situation. Like, I heard this stat going into that Steelers-Raiders game. This is unbelievable. When Kenny Pickett is in shotgun formation, they throw 83% of the time.
Crazy.
When he's under center, they run 90% of the time. How about that?
That's a tell.
That is.
But it's stuff like that you get from them. And if you listen to the Bet the Board podcast, it's not just for gamblers. It gets you ready for the game.
Right.
All of the big game. They talk about.
It helps me with my games.
Yeah, it's so informationally incredible. So Rocky Boiman at 4, Todd Fuhrman at 4:20. I mentioned Joe Milton. So Joe Milton, I forget where I saw this, or I would give credit. That's my bad on that. But I think it was 24/7 Sports maybe. But Joe Milton on the 81-yard touchdown run to start the game against UT San Antonio on Saturday was clocked at 21.3 miles per hour.
Nice.
Rolling.
6'5", 240.
Yeah, you take that into account too.
Yes. 21.3 miles per hour.
Not 100% healthy on top of it.
Do you know where that would rank him in the NFL this year so far?
Where?
Fourth fastest time in the NFL is where that would be.
That's with speed, Damon.
Do you know
at 6'5", 240?
What 3 he was?
Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, and Raheem Mostert.
Wow.
All speedsters.
So basically the Dolphins.
Yeah. The top
All
6 times are Dolphins.
Yeah. That's nuts.
It's a couple of them twice, but
okay, all right.
6'5", 240, he would that would have been the 4th fastest time in the NFL. So when y'all start to wonder, like, why is everybody talking about Joe Milton getting drafted in the first round? Because he's going to put up numbers like that.
He's going to test.
And he's got a monster arm.
Yeah, he's going to test crazy off the charts. Just got to use them. Use them legs, buddy.
That's your game plan.
Yeah, like
call him up, though.
Come on, big guy. Use them legs. Just get out there on that edge. Looks good.
Dude, how nasty did that? Well, you want to talk about an athlete? Like, athleticism can be measured in so many different ways, but the way that Joe Milton got bent up like a pretzel and he just popped up, to me, that's athleticism too.
Yeah.
That he was able to withstand that.
Ain't no question. Good flexibility. Whatever stretching they got them doing, yeah, it's on point. It's on point.
And he just laid there for a second, and I immediately texted y'all, oh, crap. I mean, I thought it was Hendon Hooker all over again. And then he laid there for a second, and then he did a push-up and popped up and waved off the trainer and said, no.
I was driving, so I made you send me the video of it so I could, because I was listening to, at that point, I think I was still listening to the Alabama game, but eventually listened to Kessling and the post-game show of that.
And so what's funny, the next offensive possession, they had the offensive huddle just off the line, just off the bench, like onto the field. And Milton was in the tent.
Yeah.
Milton was in the tent. So Nico was in the huddle with his helmet on. And they were all talking about what they were, going to do on that drive. Well, here comes Milton, and Milton's like running, and he like taps one of the coaches on the side and gets in the huddle. Nico steps back, taps him on the back of the helmet, and then gets in the bench area.
Let's get ready. This is my job. It's my bike pump.
And then his numbers went way down after that. But
Yeah, dude.
your thing isn't Milton necessarily; it's offensive line with Tennessee.
But I do think in that scenario, I think you were right.
Mays back?
So everyone is saying it's trending that way, but it's been trending that way since week leading into the Florida game.
Right.
And, I mean, he was dressed on the sideline for the Florida game. He was also
Took a
the
step.
same thing. Yeah, so I would imagine so. I mean, if you could buy, which I'm not a believer in this part, if you could buy an extra week with him, I don't think it's the game you do that. But if you had to pick one to do it, I would buy one at home in this atmosphere with them to get back because you got a bye coming up after this. And for sure, he would be back for the A&M game.
Right.
And you got to imagine he would be fully healthy with 2 more weeks. So, I mean, if he can go, if he's 90%, hey, buddy, let's boop, Ollie Lane, come on over with me. You come chill with me because you didn't false started every single game at the center position after we done told you.
You need that leadership and experience
so
bad.
Yeah,
I mean, more than
You gotta have
anything right now, even if he's not 100%,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they
Gotta
were
have
talking about the Florida game that he was going to play, and here we still sit.
Yep. So you just
I know
don't
he
know.
practiced a bunch last week.
Yes.
And then so far this week is also practicing. So that's good news.
We have plenty of time to get into that Tennessee-South Carolina matchup.
Oh, I'm in it.
But I was looking at a couple of things real quick. Number one, Tennessee running the football. Number one in the SEC. South Carolina, number 14 in the SEC in rush defense. That's one thing.
Hello.
Tennessee,
Hello,
number
matchup.
one in sacks. South Carolina, number 14 in sacks allowed. That's another key to this game. We've got tons of that coming up throughout the course of the week. Also, Titans, Bengals, Rocky Boiman next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Ron Slay here, man. I want you to do this for me. Write this down real, I'm going to say it's real slow, so you can write it down fast or slow. Either one, you can make sure you get the information. 615-850-4415. You got that? One more time. 615-850-4415. Now, you go tell your friends about that. That's the number that you call when you're ready for your body to start healing on its own. You understand that? Yeah, KellumStemCellInstitute.com. I dove into this holistic stem cell therapy because I heard of what it would do. I went for my free consultation. Dr. Kellum broke it down thoroughly to me. Any question I had. And matter of fact, asked me to sit there for a minute. I'll be back. And if you can think of something else, ask me. I was like, hey, man, you done covered everything for me. We even just start talking about life. like maybe you can help me with that too. But it's your body, your cells, your solution, man. You get your cells stored, yes, for future use as well. So you go out there, you have a car wreck or something, you got bad scarring, you want to let them heal, let them do the work. KellumStemCellInstitute.com, 615-850-4415. Get your body healed.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. The injury report is out for the Bengals and the Titans. Now, the Bengals, they just did a walkthrough today, so this is just kind of an estimate. The big thing that you need to know is that if the Bengals would have practiced, they say that Joe Burrow would have been a full participant today. Now, as far as the Titans are concerned, Luke Gifford, Elijah Molden, as well as Peter Skoronski and Todd, all four of those players did not practice today. Traylon Burks, Harold Landry, and Josh Wiley were all limited in practice. The Dolphins have Jalen Waddle back today. Now, he's still in concussion protocol, but obviously, just like a lot of things when at the NFL, and just like with Amani Hooker, this was the next step to get clearing concussion protocol and being ready for this weekend. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans at home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, National Priority with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It is Wednesday.
Hump day.
It is Hump Day. Day after tomorrow's Friday. Just think about it that way.
Yeah.
Be here before you know it.
Humping right along.
Humping right along. Don Davenport is here.
What up, Babsy?
That's Bonk. That's Bonk. Twitch, please. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
How confident
Let's
are
go.
you that the Titans are going to get the dub against the Bengals? this weekend?
My confidence level is 0.
Wow. Okay.
She's about as confident in that as Tannehill is with the offensive line.
That is correct,
Producer.
especially after listening to Ryan Tannehill talk about the offensive line today. That did not instill confidence in me.
We'll hear from Ryan Tannehill later. He did say, quote, I have to go out there and believe that they will make it happen.
Wow.
Okay, awesome.
That makes me feel good.
Your confidence level in Tennessee getting a win over South Carolina this weekend, Ron Slay?
Let me think.
Oh, dear.
Good old Rocky Top.
This kind got no room. This kind got no room.
Opposite of me?
No room.
You know what? This right here is.
Good old Rocky Top.
I think that's solid. That's about a 9, but I think we can get higher than that. Give my guy a minute.
We'll have something for you at the 5 o'clock hour.
Oh, okay. All right. Just remind me.
Ask me again.
Remind me. All right, Titans Bengals coming up this weekend. Rocky Boiman, former Titans linebacker, now doing some work in Cincinnati. 700 WLW, host of Eddie and Rocky Show. So much that you're doing, Rocky. Bengals preview show as well. Thanks for hopping on, man. How are you?
Don, Slay, Brent, always good to be on with you guys and the fine people of Nashville. I do got to ask before we start,
Yeah, man.
whose idea was it to give Dawn her own theme walk-up sounder music? That's got to go straight to her head.
You should hear my other one, Rock.
I don't know if you know this, Rocky, but this
There's
came when Don
multiple. Oh, my
complained.
God.
You want to hit him with the other one real quick? This is far more accurate. Not that one.
I don't give a damn about my reputation.
104.5 Zone AI. On the T-Dot Smartway
yeah.
map,
No, this
there
one's
appears
too
to be a
long.
meteor approaching downtown Nashville. No, wait. Scratch that. No need to check for weather alerts. This appears to be a Babs NATO. She's coming in hot. Wow. Entering the studio
Yeah.
in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
Don
yeah.
Davenport.
Now, listen, I've worked for 2 years on the same ESPN football crew as Rocky, so he
Yeah.
knows all about my tendency to come in hot and
Yes,
run
love
red.
I love it.
So what's the mood in Cincinnati? Everybody good now? Everybody feel better about Joe Burrow with the calf and all those things?
Well, look, I mean, it was near panic level Monday until about 6 o'clock up until that point. But look, coming out of that game, as ugly as it was for the Bengals, as ugly as it was for the supposedly high-powered offense the Bengals are supposed to have, as you guys know, the cliche, a win is a win, especially when you got Joe Burrow, who hadn't practiced all week. He's still hobbled by the calf, which we still saw in the game. But the fact that A, they won the game, the most important thing. B, he came out of the game supposedly unscathed, didn't hurt the thing anymore. in that regard, things couldn't be better here in Cincinnati.
I saw he was listed as a full participant in practice today, too. Is that like walkthrough? Is that why?
Yeah, and I swear that's all the Bengals do is do walkthroughs anymore. You camp, practice, they just do walkthroughs. But nevertheless, I digress. I said this, though, guys, and I think this is a point, and because I experienced this in my career. I always felt injuries breed more injuries, right?
Yeah.
You get something hurt, and then it's only a matter of time before the next thing gets hurt and the next thing gets hurt. So this calf issue with Joe Burrow cannot linger on for a month, or the odds say he's going to injure something else. As unfortunate as that sounds, and obviously no one wants that to happen, but the Bengals have got to hope, Joe Burrow's got to hope, that this thing kind of starts to clear and be in the distance here, because you guys watched that game. He wasn't himself out there.
No.
He wasn't planting into throws. He wasn't confident. He wasn't just slinging the thing. He wasn't running around and evading pressure the way he normally does. So there's only so many games he's going to be able to get away with playing like that before it's too late. And I hope it's not a ticking time bomb situation for the Bengals' sake.
Rocky Boiman with us. And you're talking about like overcompensation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. This is Titans fans won't remember this, but in 2004, this is my third year with the Titans. I started off the year, I broke a hand, okay, which I believe led to me to getting a sprain my left MCL. I played with a brace, never missed any time, played through all this stuff, hobbled around out there, and I finally got mid-season to the point where I was like, okay, I'm good, man. I feel healthy. The last play of Friday practice, the worst day of my professional life, the last play of Friday practice, we do a 3/4 speed blitz and a 2-minute drill, and boom, there goes my calf, and I missed on my right leg, which caused me to miss the final 9 games of the season. And I know it's because for those preceding weeks, I was compensating. My right leg was doing more work than the left leg. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I fear that will happen. I mean, any athlete will tell you that sort of thing can only go on for so long, especially with the speed and the intensity of the NFL, where you're compensating for one leg with another leg before something goes horribly wrong. And I hope that does not happen.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Now, he came back and said, I needed to get my guy going. And you saw him directly get the ball to Chase, give him plenty of opportunities. With that,
boy, he did.
Yeah, with the O-line the way it is, with him kind of being, you don't want to say a sitting duck, but kind of like a sitting duck. Will this be him zeroing in, or in this game versus the Titans, you think he'll spread the ball around just now that he has Chase feeling good about himself coming out of the first 3 games of the season?
Well, Slade, to me, the biggest mystery is why this team doesn't run the ball more, especially considering the state that Joe Burrow is in. And even before this, without having any preseason and there's no rapport with the wide receivers, that started to come together about the fourth quarter of the Baltimore week. But still, you got a quarterback who's not 100%. Why not run the ball? Right. Joe Burrow threw 49 passes on Monday night. Okay, 49 pass attempts. That was third most in the NFL behind Andy Dalton threw 58, Kirk Cousins threw 50. Now, I would have lost a lot of money betting that the Bengals, with a hobbled quarterback who was literally a game-time decision, would have dropped back and thrown the ball 49 times. Now, look, whatever was saying, and it's the truth, the Bengals run RPOs, right? Run pass option. Yeah. Defense gives you a run read, you run it, give you a pass. But nevertheless, like, you got Joe Mixon, who I think is running the ball hard, right? He's running angry, he's fresh, he's healthy. Why not continue to hand him the ball off a little bit? This offense is so pass-heavy. It is so pass-heavy to where even in a situation where your quarterback's injured, it's still passing that's leading the way. I don't know if that's going to change because the Titans, one thing they can do well, apparently is stop the run. I don't know if we'll see any more, but the Bengals certainly, whatever way they have to do it, they got to get a little more balance to their offense.
Yeah, the last 100-yard rusher the Titans have allowed was Saquon Barkley in the opener last year, and they've only allowed one team to do it in terms of a team rushing total in that same time period. So it's been a minute on that, but they do.
If that's the case, then Slade, then he's going to target Chase probably 17 times. So get ready, all right?
Yeah, no doubt.
How good? Go ahead, Don. Sorry.
I'm just curious what the talk is there about the Titans, because obviously the sky is falling here. They can't protect. The offensive line is a disaster. Ryan Tannehill, even when he does have open receivers, has missed them. And it's a little bit of a I think disaster is a fair word to use, especially when Titans fans talk about this Titans team. What is the thought there about this matchup?
I'll be honest. I think with the expectation level, and I think warranted, that the Bengals had coming into the season, coming off 2 years ago, Super Bowl, last year, deep run in the playoffs, and then this offseason, making the big money splash from free agency, getting Orlando Brown, and, getting kind of shoring up this roster. I think is one of the top rosters in the NFL, maybe top three. I think, honestly, Bengals fans are saying, it's good we got the Tennessee Titans this week, who are kind of, reeling a little bit, and not who the teams the Bengals play in the second half of the season. The next three opponents the Bengals have are Tennessee, Arizona, and Seattle. And I think if you ask the Bengals, they would feel pretty good about that. I mean, look, it's the NFL. There's no gimmies out there. But then after the bye week, it's San Francisco, Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. It's kind of the gauntlet. So I think Bengals fans would say, look, this is a game that, given the fact the Titans are struggling a little bit, the Bengals should and, frankly, must win if they want to get this season started off the way they want.
We're going to get a big dose of Hendrickson, I would imagine. And when he puts the tape in and sees Titans left tackle Andre Dillard gave up 3 sacks
salivating
in each of the last 2 weeks, I think, he'll be salivating.
Yeah, I think he's sharpening his sword right now. Absolutely, that was pretty tough. I went back and watched some of Dillard last week, and I mean Henderson is fresh off of the Rams. I forget his name, number 57. He was the backup offensive tackle that was in. And he was eating his lunch all night. I think he had 2 sacks and should have had another one that got negated. But, he had a big night. I mean, Trey Hendrickson, I swear, is one of those guys, if you ask somebody, walk outside right now and ask, who are the best pass rushers in the NFL? You're going to hear, obviously Myles Garrett. You're going to hear Von Miller. You're going to hear all these names. But right, exactly. But, I mean, Trey Hendrickson's name is not going to be mentioned by most people, even real NFL fans. But this dude has been legit for going on 3 years here, man. He is maybe one of the best free agent signings the Bengals have made, certainly in a couple of decades, getting him from the Saints a couple of years ago. And he has just flat produced every single year, and he continues to do that here so far this year.
Biggest weakness you think right now with the Bengals? Besides the Joe Burrow calf, him not being able to throw deep, besides that, where is the talk that they need to get better?
Man, that's a good question. I would have said a week ago, or say, I guess 2 days ago, I would have said the defense. So the defense was always the thing within the last 2 years that showed up every single Sunday. Even there's the days the offense wasn't great. The defense always showed up. Well, for the first 2 games of this season, defense was horrible. I mean, you couldn't get any stops, couldn't get off the field on third down. That was shored up in this game. So I would say, I guess that, everyone hopes that would continue, even with 2 brand new safeties that the Bengals are kind of getting into there. I guess also, Don, again, as I spoke about before, the balance aspect. I mean, this is a team that is 100% pass-centric and a pass-first team. So, there's tendencies that go along with that. And defenses are smart. Mike Vrabel's smart. He's going to understand those tendencies. And, and the Titans I assume are used to teams trying to throw at them because they stop the run so well. So I would say those 2 areas right there would be the weaker points and maybe the unknown parts of this team.
Man, great stuff, Rocky. Really appreciate it. Always enjoy visiting with you, man, and we'll holler at you.
You guys are the best. You guys make sure you keep my girl Dawn there on the straight and narrow. Right?
Are you kidding me? You know her. What are we going to do?
Well, Dawn's the best, man. We love having her every Saturday. She does the best work in the country, I think, and I look forward to seeing her again, Dawn, here in a couple of days.
Thanks, Rock. See you Friday.
See you, Rocky. Appreciate you,
man.
All
right, guys. Yep.
All right, Rocky Boiman, former Titans linebacker. Keith Bullock was talking on Friday about how much he loves Rocky.
Loves that guy. Savage just said, my guy Rocky. He loves him too.
Everybody loves Rocky.
Yeah, who doesn't love Rocky?
He's just your work hard, grind it out.
Yep.
kind of guy.
Likeable dude, too. I don't know how likable Todd Fuhrman is, but he is coming up next. He is informationally, Rain Man when it comes to college football and the NFL. We'll talk with Todd next about the games coming up this weekend. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, y'all? It's amazing watching others follow the lead and controlling their weight. Yes, even my co-host, Babsy, her husband, that's my partner, and the other Cumulus hosts, friends and family. People keep coming up week after week thanking me for the weight loss. It's not me. It's you that's doing the work. I just presented the Awaken 180 and how you're going to get involved in it. It's an awesome feeling, and I'm glad my story has inspired so many others. I'm getting messages. This is the number you need to call for your consultation, 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800. Get the weight up off of you, man, and I promise you sleep better. I was walking around for a second, man, at 302. I even had to go get a darn inhaler. Like, what? I ain't even got asthma. Just walking around with an inhaler. It was weird, man. But the weight got up off me, and guess what? Get rid of that inhaler, and that's just put away for storage. I guess if somebody else need it, I'll get it to them. But you can lose the weight right now. Do it, lose it, however you want to say it. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Give away your inhaler.
Got to breathe.
You definitely have to breathe. Check out my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. You can stock your bar for the weekend coming up this weekend. A lot of football activity going on, and Jason and his crew can help you out. 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by Publix. It's easy to get in and out if you know what you want and you like to hop in real quick and get out real quick. You can do it there with Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood, and Maryland Farms by the Publix. MarylandFarmsWS.com, the website. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., closed on Sundays. They've got a great selection of bourbon, tequila, incredible choices in their wine selections as well. Craft beer, cigars. They've got it all at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. And Jason and his crew have been serving Middle Tennessee and Brentwood for more than 17 years. So check them out. Football season is back, which means game day cocktails from Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. You can stock up with your favorite bourbon, tequila, or have them help you craft something special for game day. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood. Online, MarylandFarmsWS.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay with you. We have a giveaway right now. Would you like to?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do it fast. Where is it?
No, I think it's Slay's turn on this one.
Oh,
Like Shinobi.
all right, go, Slay.
1045 The Zone is excited. Woo! To partner with Chim Chimney.
Boy, I can feel the excitement.
I'm trying to get you. Get up for the gridiron with giveaways to get you ready for the football
That was
season.
like Vandy home game right there.
Yeah, just one of us. Be caller number 5 now. And Ron Slade, that is me, will give you a pair of tickets to see Shine Down.
Keep going.
What is Shine Down?
No,
Just keep going.
don't you dare. It's one of my favorite bands. You just keep rolling.
Next
You just keep
Tuesday at
rolling.
First Bank Amphitheater. Plus, you qualify for amazing prizes from Chim Chimney, such as a custom fire pit, pizza ovens, and more.
615-737-1045
Call
is
now.
the number. Good luck. All right, Fuhrman.
Todd Fuhrman's here. What'd you think about that, Todd? Radio Gold.
I mean, I'm glad that you guys played I Got 5 on it as the backdrop music bringing us in. It reminds me of Bet the Board and recording every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Talk a little football all fall long.
That's why we do it.
I know, and I appreciate that. I mean, I don't oftentimes get to hear the intro, and as you guys can tell, I had to make sure that I had a little more pep in my step since, I've been a sprinter for this segment for so many years, and now apparently I have to be a distance runner as per the mayor's request.
I mean, I sent the text. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I'll give you that much.
Thank you, Todd. The Bet the Board podcast, you definitely need to check out. We were telling people earlier, even if you're not into sports betting, the information that you guys provide is unlike anything you'll find anywhere and will completely get you ready for games coming up this weekend. Also, you get the best pick at the end, and you also get Brad Powers with his non-Power 5 pick, which I enjoy.
The bottom line is, I mean, that's the only way that we should probably call it the Don Davenport segment, because when Don doesn't get to do the big game, there's a better chance that Brad will touch on one of the destinations she's traveling to every single Saturday than where most of the college football fans will actually be watching.
I've got Charlotte at SMU on Saturday night.
What do you think, Todd?
We've actually seen some pretty respected under money come in on that game, and I think when you look at Charlotte last week, they obviously went to a more mobile quarterback from their pro-style quarterback that gave Florida some problems. SMU's a team that I told you guys I was real high on in the AAC. Their offense hasn't quite clicked just yet under Preston Stone, but I think they've also encountered some very good defenses in Oklahoma and TCU. So when they start to step down in class, I expect that group to flourish a little bit more. But no doubt an adjustment period for Rhett Lashley without some NFL caliber weapons on the outside. But I am very bullish on SMU in the big picture. I'm not sure I'd be running to bet them this week against Charlotte. And I actually think the SMU defense is one of the more underrated units that's going in the country right now.
Yep.
You see Rhett Lashley like literally every year.
I know. That's my guy. I love him. Ever since he was at Auburn.
I mean, look, the bottom line is, Brent, he may be the only person to thrive after leaving Auburn, although I think that's pretty much everybody these days, like Don said. Bo Nix, Brian Harcine as a man of, the earth or whatever the hell he's doing out there. And then, of course, Don performing much better than anybody that's been under center taking snaps for Auburn over the last handful of seasons.
That's true. All right. Hey, can we start there? Can we talk about Auburn, Georgia?
Let's do it.
We definitely can. And I think the biggest question that when you're handicapping this game is how many points can Auburn score against this Georgia defense? I mean, you look at what this matchup has been over the last couple of years, and it's been dominated by the Georgia Bulldogs. But maybe more importantly, from a betting perspective, when you look through the head-to-head matchups, the under has gone 8-2, and you look at some of the point totals for Auburn going all the way back to the last one in 2017, 7 points, 10 points, 14 points, 6 points, and 10 in back-to-back years. Auburn playing at a little bit of a snail's pace, part of the reason that we've seen under money come into the market. The big question for the Tigers is, will that defensive line wear down? But I have to believe that Georgia going on the road into hostile territory may be a little bit more conservative, so I expect them to lean on the ground game. I mean, they've churned out 200-plus rushing yards in each of the last 3 meetings and limit the amount of opportunities and or mistakes that Carson Beck can make. I lean favorite here, but I like the game under the total a bit.
Florida and Kentucky. Kentucky a favorite after losing 31 in a row. They're 3-2 in the last 5. What do you think?
Some sharp money has come in on the Florida Gators, and when you look at strength of schedule, early on in the campaign, Florida's been tested. And, this isn't a shot at Slay by any stretch of the imagination, but when you look at the resumes these two teams have, the most impressive victory between the two of them is Florida's dismantling of Tennessee earlier this year at the Swamp. Meanwhile, Kentucky's numbers look good on the surface, but a lot of teams would thrive playing two MAC teams. They were extremely fortunate in terms of box score cosmetics last week against Vanderbilt, using 2 pick sixes to get them outside the number. And you look at Devin Leary, he has really struggled protecting the football. Kentucky playing at a snail's pace, and I'm not quite sure that this defense is quite up to the levels we've seen in the past. But Florida wants to run the football. Kentucky really only has to contend with Ricky Pearsall. I think this is a lower scoring game, but the betting value has been taken out of the market with the total from 47 now down to 43.5, 44. But I still lean Gators as a short road underdog here. I just think they're the more complete team. And I'll give full credit to Billy Napier. I didn't expect much from this Florida team coming into the year. They go on the road and win at Lexington. Suddenly Billy's got everybody that wanted him out of this job, chasing him out of town with pitchforks through only a season plus, quieted down at least for a little while.
So you really think they got a chance, huh, Todd?
I think, Florida in terms of making, waves. In this spot, I do. I like Florida a little bit here. I didn't have a chance to grab 3 with the Gators. That was going to be my buy point. So it's not a game that I've bet myself just yet. But I like what I've seen from Florida defensively. I think the offensive line is in a much better position this week after they'll get a couple guys back from suspension. We'll see if they get their starting center back in the fold. And a credit to Billy knowing what Graham Mertz isn't. Completion percentage through the roof, even if the intended air yards aren't there. I think it's, a 23-20, 23-17 type game, and I actually trust Billy to outcoach Coach Stoops.
Okay, let me also say you don't have to mention my name with Florida like that. You don't never have to do it. Just say I miss you, Slay. I would like to talk to Slay. You heard from everybody else. Just say I want to hear from Slay, and I'm here.
I appreciate the perspective, but can you go into handicapping a Florida game, Slay, with an honest opinion and not looking at it through vol-colored glasses is a $100 million question I have for you.
No.
Well, here's a $100 million answer.
Dawn didn't even have to hesitate there. She gave us the honest assessment, but now we can listen to you hem and haw, Slay. So go ahead.
She rarely hesitates.
Yeah, she knows. So, listen, I'm going in this game with glasses on, a hat on, and a chain on, Tennessee and South Carolina, and I'm taking them. So what you think about that? 14.5.
You can take them. That number is coming down. There's a little bit of respected money coming in the Gamecocks here, driving this price below 13. I think at last check, 11.5, 12 was more or less the consensus number that's out there. Questions swirling about Tennessee and their offensive capabilities. Look, we know it was a little bit of a get-right game last week against UTSA, but this is a step up in class, even for a Gamecocks defense that was absolutely shredded through the air to the tune of nearly 500 yards from Will Rogers. I think Tennessee will obviously have revenge on their mind for what could have been last season had they not stubbed their toe in Columbia as a massive favorite in the game where Hendon Hooker was injured. But I just haven't seen enough from Tennessee offensively that leads me to believe they can run away and hide. Spencer Rattler may keep that back door open all game. And, when I look at this contest, I don't have a strong opinion either way. I would actually lean under the total at 63.5.
You know what I know? I don't know karate, but guess what I do know? I know crazy. It's the big payback, Todd.
Hey, payback is great. It's a dish served cold. It's just a question of will this dish be served at Neyland Stadium come Saturday?
You damn right. We're passing it out.
It's interesting to go back to what you just said, though. The under might be the play. Tennessee, number 1 in the SEC, running the football. South Carolina, number 14 in stopping the run. So you might see a lot of that clock churning there.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we talked about. We thought that Tennessee's receivers were a tick down year over year in terms of the talent they had a season ago. At the quarterback position, Hendon Hooker was the perfect fit, the consummate veteran leading that group. And we've just seen some erratic, inconsistent series. And so when you're talking about a total this high, even for a South Carolina defense, it leaves a lot to be desired. All it takes is a 5 or 6 minute drought, and you could be up against it going over a number this large, especially if Joe Milton isn't quite 100%.
What do you think about the LSU-Ole Miss game? Arkansas obviously gave LSU all it wanted last week. Ole Miss did not play well at all against Alabama. What do you think about that one?
This total has moved one way and one way only. Opened as low as 63. I'm now seeing a 68 out in the market, some 67.5. But interesting when you look at Ole Miss and when they've played some of these ranked opponents, they typically haven't been involved in some of the high-scoring games. Now, Ole Miss was embarrassed by, all senses of the word last week with their performance offensively against Alabama. When you consider that was the lowest offensive output we've seen from an Ole Miss offense during Lane Kiffin's tenure. They scored their fewest points, half as many as what was their previous low. And when you look at Ole Miss, it's been as simple and straightforward as if they can score 28 points in a conference game, they have more than a puncher's chance. If they don't, the defense just hasn't been able to hold up. And I'm not sure that all is well in Oxford right now. You look at a couple of defections, albeit not two of the more impactful players in Reginald Hughes and Michael Trigg no longer with the team. Quinshon Judkins has really struggled to get going, and so much of what Ole Miss wants to do in the passing attack is built off the ground game. But if LSU doesn't have to respect Judkins and Bentley running the football, it makes things that much easier to defend, even for a much maligned secondary like LSU brings to the table. I think you'll get a much more complete effort from LSU. The matchup to watch will be their defensive line up against Ole Miss's offensive front. LSU will get their points. I'm not sure the Rebels can keep up. So for me, don't really see a whole heck of a lot in this contest, honestly. I made LSU a 3-point favorite, so a shred of value if you can lay 2.5. But as the total continues to climb, mildly intrigued to go under and take a slight contrarian approach.
College game day at Duke for the first time ever. Notre Dame and Duke getting 5.5.
Yeah, this number has moved a little bit in Notre Dame's favor. We're seeing them push out into that 6 range. I mean, the last time a nationally ranked Duke team hosted a ranked opponent was November 5th, 1994.
Wow.
So you can begin to understand why College game day hasn't been there on a regular basis during football season, despite Cameron being an annual stop for the college basketball brigade. Duke, for me, is an interesting team because they've exceeded expectations early on. The win against Clemson still continues to be, their flagship moment of sorts. But in that game, they closed as right around a 12.5 point underdog. Now you're talking about a touchdown less against a Notre Dame team that, in my opinion, is much more complete than what we've seen from Clemson so far this year. I think the biggest question you have to ask in the handicap here is, will Notre Dame be experiencing a hangover from what unfolded in the final seconds in South Bend last week? If they're not, Notre Dame has a path to victory. They should be able to run the football against a Duke defense that ranks right around the middle of the pack this year compared to a passing defense that's been outstanding. But there's also some questions about the passing offenses that Duke has faced. Sam Hartman doesn't have a wealth of weapons at his disposal by any stretch of the imagination. So I expect this to be an Audric Estime game and would look for him to go over that 100-yard mark. But the other thing about it, for all the accolades that Riley Leonard is rightfully deserving of so far this season as one of 8 quarterbacks nationally with no interceptions on 95-plus pass attempts, this is a little bit of a step up in class. He's making his 19th career start for Duke, but this will be just his second against a team inside the top 25. The only other one was earlier this year against Clemson, and he did it more with his legs than he did his arm. If Notre Dame wants to be there, I think they win this game going away, but we'll know pretty early on in terms of if this moment is just too big for the Duke Blue Devils.
I got one for you. I'm gonna give you some. You can take this back to your butt the board and lay this on the board for everybody.
For Payne and Cider? For the sunglasses and everything?
Put this right on the board for Payne and Powers, man. Listen, P&P, P-Square. Hey, Arkansas versus A&M. I'm on the KJ Jefferson train.
Always have been.
I'm telling you right now, ain't no A-chain for A&M. That's what bailed them out last year.
No quarterback now.
No quarterback. Arkansas going to run away with this one. Better take your points. Or you just going to money line. That's just me. That's a nugget from me to you to make up for the Florida game, Todd.
You know what's interesting about this is we didn't get the official injury designation with Connor Wegman until earlier today, and the betting market really didn't respond. A&M was more or less a 6.5-point favorite all week, and that's where we're sitting. The move that we have seen, though, is towards the under. The total ticked down with the official announcement that Max Johnson will be their guy. You look at A&M, and I don't think they lose much in terms of a pocket passer, but there is no mobility for Max Johnson. He's not going to be able to move around that pocket and extend plays. I just wonder, Slay, my big concern here is I know this is a big rivalry that goes all the way back to previous conferences. Did Arkansas leave it all out there, and can they rally for the second straight week to take on an A&M team that, quite frankly, was much more dominant than that final score indicated last week against Dawn's beloved War Eagle? So for me, I kind of want to take the wait-and-see approach to see how A&M goes about their business. But there's no doubt that A&M isn't a team that you feel all that comfortable with laying points in a neutral site venue. So I can see why you're making a slight case for Arkansas and KJ Jefferson to carry some of that momentum, especially on the offensive side forward, that we saw on full display last week against LSU.
You always misconstrue what I said. I ain't making no small case. I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. Vols gonna win by 50. Arkansas gonna win by 10. I'm telling you exactly what I make small case. I ain't even got no little small briefcase. I'm out here.
Hunt, clip that.
I mean, look, Slay, that's one hell of an alternate parlay you're putting together. If you get an alternate line and you can lay 49.5 with the Vols against South Carolina and you want to tie that into Arkansas winning the game by 7+, you may not have to show up to work on Monday. You may have an all-expense-paid trip to the Boom Boom Room if that thing unfolds.
I tell you this, I got the keys to the Boom Boom Room, and I'm going to be right there in it with my feet up, cigar in mouth, and I'm telling you right now, Gamecocks will be on the grill. We flaming Gamecocks. You hear that? And we're going to be doing a little Aggie dance outside with it. Oh, whoa! Lift a little leg up.
You know what, Slay? I think the last time you were this confident, you told me there was going to be gator bait on the grill, and that didn't quite play out the way you drew it up. I'm just saying.
I was drunk.
I'm just saying you have to make sure that you go in with a level of objectivity when you're handicapping these games. That maybe the Vols are slightly overvalued in the betting market, but we'll see on Saturday exactly what we're getting from them.
All right.
Objectivity.
All right.
Productivity.
Titans hosting the Bengals. Titans opened a 2.5-point favorite, and he quickly went the other way. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, that's a number, though, that was built into Joe Burrow potentially not being available in that game while speculation swirled last week. Joe Burrow goes out there on Monday Night Football, and the Bengals then open as a short favorite. But look, anyone who watched that game can't be all that confident given what they saw from Joe Burrow. He looked to have his mobility extremely compromised. The deep ball wasn't a major part of the arsenal other than that one pass to Jamar Chase downfield. Burrow now just 1 of 18, I believe, on passes 15-plus yards downfield. And that was a staple in this Bengals offense. When you look at the Titans secondary, it's there for the taking, but I'm not sure Cincinnati in their current construct is able to exploit that. I just don't know where the Titans consistently go to try and move the football. You should be able to run it a little bit against the Bengals defensive front. But look, this Titans offense is a little bit scary the way it looks right now. And I actually lean under the total some. I'm not sure you get a ton of big plays either way. When we look at Tennessee, the last time they took on the Bengals, they were living in the backfield. And if they're able to get to Joe Burrow 6 or 8 times like they did in that playoff game, it's a very different dynamic unfolding here. We'll lean ever so slightly towards the under is the way things stand right now.
If defense coordinators won't say it publicly anymore, but they always want to see number 2. If Browning ends up out there, ooh.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You look at this Joe Burrow injury, and a lot of the injury guys that we talked to said for him to be fully recovered, it would take 4 to 6 weeks. So the Bengals are going to trot him out there. They know he's going to be compromised week in, week out. And it's part of the reason you're pretty much seeing the Bengals run exclusively out of shotgun. Going into the game on Monday night against the Rams, 97% of the offensive plays they'd run this year were out of the gun. You've seen Joe Mixon pick up the slack a little bit. The offensive line did a decent job protecting. But I think this Bengals team is a far cry from what it was last year because Joe Burrow really is the engine. And when you talk about a quarterback that's a little bit limited, can't get outside the tackle box to extend plays, it changes a lot of the dynamic in terms of what they can do, running play action and being able to go through the entire playbook.
Is there another game in the college football Saturday or the NFL on Sunday that you like?
Yeah, a couple of interesting games in college football. If we look for some of the games that aren't necessarily going to be on the national radar, I think Texas State has been one of the better stories with the changing coach. All the buzz was about Colorado and how they overhauled the roster. Texas State brought in more players for any program not named Colorado, but this is a little bit different. They're now being asked to lay, nearly a touchdown on the road against a Southern Miss team who came up short last week against Arkansas State. I think Southern Miss is extremely live. They'll be able to move the football against this Texas State team. So I like the Golden Eagles to bounce back a bit as a 5.5-point home underdog.
Love it, Todd. All right, NFL preview will be out tomorrow on the Bet the Board podcast. College football already out there. So rate, review, subscribe, all those things. Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Fuhrman.
Always a pleasure, guys. Enjoy the game this weekend and John. Safe travels as always.
Thank you.
And by the way, I sent Todd a picture of you with your bedazzled power tee.
That's right.
While you were rumbling around.
Slay, all I want to know is that real 24-karat gold, or is that something you picked up at the Dollar General on your way into work?
Man, it's the same chain all the Smokies wore. I took it right off his neck. So mine.
I can appreciate that. You're in the right mindset. Hopefully you're not disappointed by Saturday evening.
Go Vols!
Thanks, Fuhrman.
Always a pleasure, Todd. Todd Fuhrman on Twitter. That's what he always says. Mm-hmm. All right, injury report. We've got it for you. Titans, Bengals. That's next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
You guys need to go check out my Instagram at Dawn Davenport TN. There is a nice little reel there from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville because we just got to shoot a commercial and gaze through my beautiful new windows from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You can do the same. You can be gazing through your beautiful new windows or opening your brand new door. If you need replacement windows or doors, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville is who you need to call. That's where you need to go. And I can tell you because I utilize them for my replacement windows and doors in my townhome as well. And here's the deal with Pella. Based on a 2022 survey of leading window brands among homeowners, they were rated as the leading window brand in Nashville, number one for innovation, number one is the most trusted window brand, and the window brand that stands behind their products. And here's the deal. From installation all the way through, they can warranty their products because they know they do it right. And they have the staff that is there to be able to serve you and do it right. Call Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville to help you out. Tell them Dawn told you to call, and they've got some special offers going on until September 30th. Check them out. Check out a free consultation and that offer at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you until 6 o'clock. Nashville SC teaming up with 104.5 The Zone to kick childhood cancer, a campaign benefiting the Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. This September, fans and listeners can bid on unforgettable experiences with their favorite radio personalities and at Nashville SC matches at Geodis Park. Bid on these unforgettable experiences and items by visiting 1045thezone.com today.
And by the way, the Preds open the season in Smashville October 12th, which is crazy. That is already here. But I'm going to give away tickets in the 5 o'clock hour for you to go to that.
How about that?
It's the 25th anniversary season. 25 years here in Smashville. We've had this team. Pretty cool, huh? No, Preds.
Oh.
Well, same.
Well, yeah. No.
Not really,
No.
but really, yeah.
Can these people sit with Sean Henry, like next to him?
Maybe.
President? That would be fun.
That would
I'll
be
have
great.
to ask.
There was a playoff game that I ended up sitting next to Governor Haslam and his wife.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
You got better tickets than I do.
Maybe that day. Maybe that day.
That day you did.
That's your guy. He's a big Power T guy. He's probably wearing the same thing you're wearing right now.
We were both sad leaving that Michigan game.
I'm sure they're wearing the exact same thing, Mayor.
I drove back, he flew back.
Go to his Twitter feed and look and see what he had on
Yeah,
today. It's
that's right.
identical.
I bet he approves.
That Michigan that loss in Michigan in basketball, you became a meme that day.
Yep, I didn't even know it. I was a fat meme. I was. Boy, my jaws, woo. I couldn't see it then.
It was like Slay's version of the Jordan meme.
It was.
It really was.
Slay, when you go back on SEC Network,
You just didn't see the tears.
You should do a segment of that where like the meme is the standard of what you're trying to say, of like what team is making you do that right now as you watch them play.
That's a good idea.
Good one, huh?
Also, whatever happened to our idea to have Throat Punch Thursday?
I don't know. Did that got nixed?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Got punched in the throat.
Will we bring somebody in?
No, Slay.
No, I'm saying like. Hey,
No, Slay, we're not going to physically throat punch somebody.
Andre Dillard is going to come into the studio so that you can punch him in the throat
Dude,
and tell him to block better.
He just hug us.
Oh, man. You want to talk about just owning the internet?
Damn Titans.
Taylor Swift.
Hey,
Bring
we
her
got a
in.
picture of her out there.
No, that's Miranda Lambert.
Oh.
Yeah, Swifty's not posing
No,
like that.
I'm
bud.
telling y'all, it is down the hall.
No, there is a Taylor Swift down there,
Okay.
which I never noticed until Travis Kelce.
I never noticed that till today.
I never noticed it until yesterday.
Dude,
you know
that's
why?
crazy.
Because all this Taylor Swift talk is in my head. I keep sending you
gotten
guys
us. I know.
stuff
As
about
mad
Taylor
as she
Swift.
says that she is about Taylor Swift, she sends us like repeated text messages
Because
of stories about her.
I can't get away from it. It's freaking everywhere.
You're getting swifted.
Taylor Swift in football is everywhere, and I don't know what to do about it.
Should we start every show and welcome in the Swifties that are trying to learn about football?
I think we should.
It's Swifty.
Hey, listen.
Todd got swifted.
Judging by the freaking numbers, we should. 400% spike in Kelsey's jersey sales, right? You told us that yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, well, there's more. Kelsey's podcast ranks #1 overall on Apple. It usually doesn't, FYI.
well, yeah.
It does now because all these Swifties are tuning in
That's
to see
nuts.
what he has to say
That's nuts.
about Taylor. Y'all, Swifties, I love y'all, but they're kind of crazy.
Oh, no, they're nuts.
Kelsey
all
added
in.
383,000 Instagram followers in the last couple of days. 383,000. Are you kidding me?
Man, I can't get to 3,000.
They would easily unfollow him.
It's all fun and games until they break up.
My mind is blown.
I'm at
It's
2,800.
amazing. It's amazing. Like you get 2,800.
2,800.
You need a Swifty.
Oh, I can't wait for them to break up.
Once they break up, it's about to be ugly.
No,
This man has no clue what he's messing with. Literally,
Oh, yeah,
the
he does. I
happiness
don't
of
think he cares.
every single man on the face of the earth is connected to this relationship.
How?
Because I'm telling you, how many women just watched some extra football this weekend because of Taylor Swift?
Well, the number was 24.3 million viewers. The #1 game
Yes.
Number one game, and it was 35-0 at halftime.
In the
This week,
very
yeah.
moment that they break up, there's going to be 23 million women that are looking at their husbands and boyfriends saying, "You're not watching a single down of football. I hate football because of that Travis Kelce. Screw
Oh,
him."
you might be
crazy.
right.
No.
63% jump in female viewers ages 18 to 49.
Let's call it what it is.
63% jump.
Coconuts.
Y'all.
It's a musical cult.
All right.
Let's just be honest.
I teased this before the break, so let me do it before we have to get on. out of here
Just
for
let
the
me
hour.
close this out by saying Taylor Swift is the real deal. Swifties, come on.
No.
So is
question.
3HL. Come
Yeah.
hang out.
Lauren Knight says Taylor Swift needs to come on 3HL. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree.
Yeah,
Tweet
show
her.
us something now. Yeah, she got to show
Tweet
me.
her.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Show me it's real.
She's got a place here.
Well, show me it's real. I don't believe it. I think
All right,
it's imaginary.
linebacker Luke Gifford, hamstring, did not practice. Titans injuries. Defensive back Elijah Molden, hamstring, did not practice. Peter Skoronski, abdomen. We all know what's going on there. Did not practice. He's also lost weight. We need to talk about that when we come back. Defensive lineman T.R. Tart, knee, did not practice. Following players are limited. Traylon Burks with a knee. Harold Landry with a hamstring still. Josh Wiley with an illness. For the Bengals, the following players did not practice. Charlie Jones, wide receiver with a thumb. Starting tight end Irv Smith with a hamstring. Full participant today, quarterback Joe Burrow. More Titans Bengals talk when we come back. Also, a little nugget on USC Colorado I found interesting. That's next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Are you looking to buy a new home, but you have to have cash in order to not get it ripped out from under you? Well, don't wait for your current house to sell and don't get ripped off by one of those I buy your house people. Call Loan Pronto instead because they have their dream home bridge loan going on and you can get into the equity, get the cash you need, make a clean offer on this new home that you want, and then you have the cash to cover the down payment and you can go after the house you want with no contingency. Once your current house then sells, that bridge loan completely disappears. Don't put off your dream. Let Loan Pronto help you leverage your equity so you can get the cash to make a solid, clean offer. And Loan Pronto, the way they work is they'll be able to get you the cash in a matter of days nowadays with very little paperwork. And usually you don't even need an appraisal to be able to do it. So call Loan Pronto if you want some help there. 615-499-5780. Dream Home Bridge Loan, 615-499-5780. That's loanpronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. The injury reports are out for the Bengals and the Titans, but the Bengals had a walkthrough today. So the fact that it says Joe Burrow full participant, we don't really know if that's true or not. We'll find out tomorrow when they practice for the very first time. For the Titans, on the other hand, Luke Gifford, Elijah Molden, Peter Skoronski, and Todd were all absent from practice today. Traylon Burks, Harold Landry, and Josh Wiley were all limited in practice today. Around the AFC South, Anthony Richardson has returned to practice. Now, he's still in concussion protocol, but he took all of the first team and the starter reps today for the Colts in practice. Remember, Titans and Colts next week. So pay attention to what's happening with Indy. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, and you're home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. What up? Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It is a Wednesday in the neighborhood.
In the hood.
Always up to no good.
That's right.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
What'd I say?
You're like, oh.
Oh, no, man, one of my reps was working on something.
One of his reps fell behind.
Never leave a rep behind.
That's definitely true. Wingman and reps.
I just got a parlay. I just did a parlay, everybody.
Okay.
Are we going to hear about it in 15 minutes for the official parlay?
No, this is a college one. I got a baseball one for that one, though.
Baseball, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's what's on tonight.
Could you help my Astros, actually get in the playoffs?
They put me so far behind. I'm not even talking about them.
They've lost 6 out of 7, 6 out of 8.
Me leaving them alone was the best thing to happen to me in parlays. I'm telling you.
There's only 4 games left.
I know.
Joy 104.5, The Zone's 3HL. That's us. This Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's tomorrow in Smyrna. That's in Smyrna. For our next Titans football feast. Stop by for your chance to win
team here in Nashville.
Titans tickets and giveaways each hour thanks to Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. See the full schedule by visiting 1045thezone.com/TFF. So Thursday in Smyrna at Buffalo Wild Wings. Friday at the OG Scoreboard location, Scoreboard Bar and Grill out by Opryland.
That's right. Come out and have a ball, good people. We will.
Is Smyrna the one where, the Smyrna football field is actually in Laverne, or Laverne's football field is actually in Smyrna?
Laverne's.
See, when I say things like this, we're going to get all kinds of messages. What's that?
Laverne's football field is actually in Smyrna.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. You didn't know that, did you, Babs?
No. I should know that because I used to travel to all of those high school stadiums when I did local sports.
Yes, you did, Babs.
What about Amanda Surgener, who used to work here? She lives in Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Laverne.
Both of them?
Yes.
I don't remember. She moved.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Her master bedroom and other bedroom are actually on one side of the city lines.
Porch is in the other town. I think she grew up in Smyrna. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Don Davenport is here.
Hi.
What's up, Babsy?
1045 The Zone AI. On the T-Dot Smartway map, there appears to be a meteor approaching downtown Nashville. No, wait. Scratch that. No need to check for weather alerts. This appears to be a Babs NATO. She's coming in hot. Entering the studio in 3, 2, 1. Don Davenport.
Happy Wednesday, people.
Did you have a nice drive in today?
I did. It was.
Was it?
Yeah. Nobody was going slow in the fast lane. If they pulled in front of me. They passed and then got out of the way. Very good. Good job, Nashville.
You know, if you think it's bad here,
Proud of you.
You know where it's really bad? Where people just sit and camp out in the fast lane?
Alabama. Good Lord.
No question.
It's awful.
Like, they think it's the law for them to sit over there at like 45 miles an hour and a 70.
Do you know what else I noticed driving through Alabama? They have signs on the interstate that say it is against the law to sit in the passing lane.
Well, it doesn't say that, but it.
No, it basically does say that.
Yeah, it says keep to the right.
Yes.
Left lane is for passing, I think is what it says.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That's our public service announcement.
Yeah. Anyway,
don't
PSA
go to Alabama.
for the day.
Unless you're going to Florida.
All you Alabamians, get your Shiano together. Let's go.
Get it together. Get out of the way.
There's one right there. His name is Joe Hunk.
Yeah, you're me. That's me. You're talking to me on this one. Yeah.
Sorry, Hunk.
No,
but you don't do that.
No, heavens no. I fly through this. I mean, I'm going 85 into 55 for anybody that's not listening.
Heavens, no.
Heavens, no. I'm trying to not say words like God and Jesus because my son repeats everything I say now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Baby Baz dropped another S-bomb the other day. I'm like,
Where'd she get that?
I wouldn't know. Must be her dad.
Hey, Hunk, how long have you worked here now? Like 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
Okay. How many speeding tickets have you gotten coming from Huntsville and going to Huntsville every day?
Knock on wood, I have gotten 0.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
I've gotten 0. I've gotten pulled over once, but I've gotten 0. He let me go, and the only reason is, and I didn't realize this, is state troopers actually have like guns that go through the back of their vehicle, so they can tell the speed of the vehicles coming up behind you. So I came up behind him doing 85, and I saw it was the SUV. Hit the brakes, and he came in behind me, and he's like, "Yeah, you were going 85, and then you stopped, or you slammed on the brakes." So
yeah,
I just wanted to double check that everything was
God,
good.
those SUVs will get you, man.
Yeah.
You think you sleep?
You're never looking. You guys.
He also told me a
playing the
trick
game.
that he does is he will park somewhere. Yeah, he'll park somewhere on 65. He'll wait for somebody on the Waze app to notify him, put up the little cop thing to say there's a cop on that spot.
I knew they do that.
He will move. He'll move only a quarter of a mile, wait for somebody else to do it, and he'll just keep doing that, so it makes it look like there's a ton of police officers in like a mile stretch when there's really just him.
I knew they do that. I thought they'd go on Waze sometime and do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They're out there playing around.
Yeah. Might as well. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Another cop told me that they look for, like, when you hit your brakes, when you see them, your trunk, like, goes up in the air, and they see that.
Yep. Nose goes down. Mm-hmm.
Nose goes down. Ron Slay's here.
I'm in the building.
Oh.
Uh-oh. The shoulder started moving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting funky.
Big payback. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Gamecocks. We told y'all last year. We mad. Y'all laughed. We need some get back right here in Neyland. We ain't worried about the players. Hyper said, y'all settle down. We got to stick to the game plan. But us, fans, what is going up? Woo! Dog mode activated, baby. That ain't right.
Slay's in all black.
That's right.
His
It's
phone's in
going down.
dark mode.
It's going down.
Josh Heupel said today for our fan base that they want to use last year's motivation. I got no problem with that.
Oh, you think you got to tell us? Hey, you ain't got to tell us. This ain't no Florida situation, but we're going to take a page out y'all book. We're going to take a page out y'all book. We coming in there nasty. You hear me? Nasty. Gamecocks on the grill. Gamecocks on the grill. It's the big payback. James Brown, shout out. You hear me?
What is a gamecock anyway? I don't remember.
Something that you can eat. Something that you can eat when you fry it. That's exactly what it is. It's chicken.
Isn't a Hokie, Virginia Tech Hokies, isn't a Hokie a castrated turkey?
Yes, which is why they suck.
Oh, my God.
Castrated turkey.
What?
It's true. What is a gamecock?
I didn't know that.
Listen. I don't care what it is. It could be anything that they wanted to be. Bird, crow, rooster.
But it's a cock.
Okay, well, put them on the grill.
They do not hear their
Oh, my
call
Lord.
in that stadium
Here it is.
8 million times.
I was about to say we can't read the definition, but Don just went ahead and just threw it out there. So, yeah.
Well, cool.
Hey, this is Don's world.
It's an animal.
It's a bird. A rooster bred and trained for cockfighting.
Yeah.
Gamecock.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on. When you get grabbed by that little neck, what you going to do then?
I'm actually surprised that, in this day and age, that
Somebody hadn't gone after
somebody
them.
hasn't gone after them to make them change their
Hey,
mascot.
Peter, go on down there to Columbia.
That's
Mess
when they
around with
renaming
them
them.
We have to be
before Saturday.
successful at something before you really the people
Jeez,
pay
Hunk
attention to.
just
Oh, according to them, they
firing
are.
bullets.
According to them, they are.
Taking out Virginia Tech,
What if-
taking out South Carolina. Who's next, Hunk?
What if PETA just didn't know, but then they were listening because they listen, and they made South Carolina change their nickname before the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm sure that would happen.
I mean, they might as well. We're going to eat them all a little bit.
I'm sure Shane Beamer would be all over that.
Shane Beamer, remember him dancing around on the field last year?
High knees. He was doing high knees on the field with his players celebrating.
High stepping.
Yeah, every bit of it. Didn't take his foot off the gas. They was still throwing passes. Like Juice Wells scoring. Ain't nobody going out of bounds. Like they were throwing passes to the end zone. They humiliated us. Like it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Derailed the entire season. And laughed at Hendon. People are going on social media. You know what I mean? That's what he get, this, that, and playing on that little terrible garbage field. That's what they need to go be investing in that field. The sand pit that they playing in. Like, that's the problem. It was sand popping all up. Now y'all get to come play on some grass.
I mean, they had
Real
no problem
grass.
running around all over that sand field.
No, the Rattler was dealing, is what he was doing.
And he's been dealing all this year.
Yes, he has.
And
Without,
he
without
looks
weapons
like
now, though.
a different quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He looked like the quarterback that they thought he was going to be coming out.
At Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That 5-star guy.
Not to mention, look who he's been replaced by.
Right.
NFL guys,
Yep.
you
Mhm.
know?
Well, this weekend, though, he'll be touched. And I ain't talking about by an angel either. No.
That's a 90s television show reference.
You feel me?
Was that CW?
Right.
Touched by an
It
angel?
was- I think it was.
Was that Della Reese? Was she in that?
I think
might have been.
Walker, Texas Ranger came on after that.
Yeah.
All I know is, out there on that field, it's big payback.
Dr.
baby.
Quinn, medicine woman, was she involved?
They ain't experienced nothing like this.
And after
Party of
that's
Five, was that on?
American Gladiators, because it sounds
Didn't
like
Rattler
USA
say
Network.
something?
Did he?
Yeah, dude sent that to us.
Maybe that was one of your reps.
No,
sent that to
okay,
you.
let me go. Hold on, wait a
I
minute.
don't
Rattler
remember.
said something. Yeah,
Hold
no.
on, wait a minute.
He
All
came
right.
out talking about the fans.
All right, you'll find that during the break. Also, Bengals game plan with Joe Burrow with that calf injury. What's that going to look like? 615-737-1045.
Also, I'm going to give away Preds tickets
Love
at
it.
the beginning of the next segment, so stick around and be the fifth caller.
We'll be right back. By the way, USC at Colorado. USC has 16 sacks on the season. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been sacked 22 times already this year. Some little information, nuggets for you for Saturday. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Car, truck, SUV, Jeep, whatever you're looking for, they'll be able to help you out. New or pre-owned, if you need something with a little more room, maybe that payment needs to come down a little bit. Maybe you need something more reliable. Gupton can help you out. Daniel Gupton and his crew ready to help you. Go talk with them about what you need, and they'll have an answer for you. Go take your test drive. Go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Take 24 West to exit 35, about 9 miles outside the city, then a straight shot into the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. All of the dealer inventory is there as well. They'll be there with you every step of the way and after the sale as well, because they have an incredible service department. They'll send you notices about things that they've got going on and that you need to get done to your vehicle. Great people. Check them out. It'll be the best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
What's happening? You made it to the parlay right here on 3HL Superbook. Go download it, get the Sportsbook app. We got baseball tonight. We're going to roll on through Orioles money line, Twins money line, Toronto Blue Jays -1.5, Pittsburgh Pirates money line. That's going to get you plus 1,006. There you go, people. You know what it is. Orioles money line, Twins money line, Blue Jays -1.5, Pirates money line. Book it.
HL 1045, The Zone. What up? Todd Davenport's got some tickets to give away, y'all.
Give them away now.
Yes.
Give it away now.
Did you guys realize that opening night in Smashville is October 12th?
Yes, I did because you said it earlier. But before that, I didn't.
Okay, well, Nashville Predators hockey is back, baby, and we're kicking off the 25th anniversary of the Preds season. So we have tickets for you to see the Preds in action for that opener at Bridgestone Arena versus the Seattle Kraken, which we hate. That is to start the season. Caller number 5 right now. Good luck. 615-737-1045. And if you're interested in taking in a Preds game, single game tickets are also on sale now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets. Go Preds.
Go Preds indeed.
We hate the Kraken, right?
Yeah, we don't mess around with them. The Kraken.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of hockey teams I hate because of the Preds.
Yeah, I think that's okay too, Babs.
Blackhawks, that's a given. Vegas, ugh, with their little ready-made team.
Ready-made team.
Just gave them a championship, didn't they, Babs?
Yeah.
Remember when we were talking to James Neal last season, and he actually liked Vegas. I was like, man, okay.
He did.
He did, remember? Well, I mean, he played there.
Right.
But
well, yeah, of course he liked it.
Oh, they were runner-up.
No, they were runner-up
yeah,
that
they
year,
won.
right?
Yeah, they runner-up the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Preds had to do it the hard way, man. They're still paying for that.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure it out.
Now you can win early, and then
Okay.
and then let it fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
They let it fall apart. That's very true.
615-737-1045. You're going to hear from Mike Vrabel and Ryan Tannehill and Peter Skoronski coming up. My biggest thing about Skoronski is even when he's okay to go, like he's dropped some weight now, right?
Yeah.
It's
You
going to
gotta get
take
it
him a
back.
minute.
You got to get it back.
It's going to take him a minute, isn't it?
I mean, it depends what weight you're talking about, too.
His
though.
appendix busted. Of course it's going to take him a minute. Hey, your appendix just blew up in your body. Why
There
don't
we
you
go.
go play the most physical sport in the world real quick?
See, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about how, like, he can get back. Like, so it's going to take some practice, right? Like, it's going to take some practice time. You got to put some weight back on. Make sure that appendix is okay.
I'd say, man, though, if depending on the weight loss and what was it that was lost, like muscle or what. Let's see, Babs just went on there.
But like his appendix blew up. I mean, he talked about it in the locker room today. It actually ruptured. That can kill you.
Yeah. We talked about that the other day.
It wasn't like they got it in time. Which, do you know what? The other thing I thought about, because
he thought he had food poisoning.
Yeah, so Mr. Babs had an emergency appendectomy like before I knew him, but he doesn't feel pain very much. Like nothing, pain doesn't affect him. I mean, like I scratch my finger and I'm like, I'm dying, but it doesn't affect him at all. And he said that was one of the most painful things, and they caught it like right before it ruptured. I mean, to have your appendix rupture, that just shows you how tough this dude is, right? Yeah. Because he had to be in so much pain, and then it actually ruptured, which is really dangerous. Yep. So that obviously is going to make him need some more time, I think, to come back. But they caught it at St. Thomas, thank goodness.
Yep. Shout out St. Thomas Ascension Hospital for sure.
So
no
what
doubt,
would this be?
But man, I mean, that thing straight blew up in his body.
Yeah, that's.
And we're like, is he back? Is he back?
Yeah, that's how much the Titans need him.
This would be
the appendix.
This would be the third game, yeah.
Third game, yeah. Sheesh.
Oof.
Yeah.
Man.
O-line, that's a rookie,
I just
y'all.
can't. I can't even. I know. And that's the other conversation, is that this Titans team needs something so badly on the offensive line that fans are like, oh, is the guy whose appendix just blew up in his body, who's a rookie, back yet?
Looking like it's your best guy.
Because we need him so bad.
Need him more than anybody.
So is he?
No.
Joe Hunk, let's roll through some of this audio. Do you have this available?
Yeah.
I do.
I was trying to tell you, but you were talking to winners. Meanwhile, the Bengals have won 7 of their last 9 against the Titans. The Titans have dropped 3 in a row against Cincinnati, haven't beaten them since November 12, 2017.
That's a bad stat. Bad.
Jamar Chase, what do you have? He came into the game. He came into the game 10 catches, 70 yards. He had 12 for 140.
Yeah, man, targeted purposely. Like,
no
question. Like
question.
the first quarter, he didn't get anything, and they kept going, why aren't they targeting Jamar Chase? And then it came.
And then boom. So Vrabel talking about how the Titans plan to defend him. That's a good idea. They get him into the slot quite a bit, too, so look for McCrary on him a little bit. But, again, quick throws from Joe Burrow with that calf situation, 2.3 seconds on average getting the ball out.
Yeah, I mean.
Don't blitz.
Yeah, you would expect them to do it again, too.
Yeah.
But you got to we need some deflections, man. Big fellas got to get them palms up, tip them balls. We got to get some things going our way, man. Not only the
our chat
takeaways.
people couldn't hear the audio, just FYI. He'll fix it moving forward.
Basically, he said that we got to figure out where he's at on the field.
Well, no, okay.
I had it turned off because I was playing music for Slay, and I didn't want to get YouTube trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
He actually did say that. They got to know where he is to defend him.
I mean, you better know what T. Higgins is and Boyd as well.
Well, we'll have to know where he's at.
I mean, that's true.
Behind the preposition.
That's right. You know me and that. Mike Vrabel talking about Justin Murray. We were talking about Justin Murray on Monday as a possibility, and then they signed him to the active roster. Why?
I mean, Justin's been here since camp, and we've elevated him a couple times, and it's a good time to put him on the roster. He's been versatile. He's played inside, played outside. He's been a swing tackle here a couple games. He's been ready to go when we needed him. We haven't really needed him yet, but I kind of like where his attitude is, like who he is.
That's good.
God, Vrabel just sounds annoyed.
Yeah, he
Vrabel needs a win, man.
That's all. He ready to get to the game, man. Like. Players saying this enough talking like, what y'all want to hear from me? We got to get out here and be better.
Yeah. Did you hear his Christian Fulton answer?
No.
Oh.
What does Christian Fulton need to do to play better?
I mean, do your job. You know what I mean? Like, you got to stand up here and you think that, like, you asked me a couple years ago, like, what you can do to help a pass rush or pass rush. Do your job. Cover your man. Play cover 2. Reroute, play inside number 1 when you're in quarters. Whether it's a D lineman, whether it's a DB. Christian did some cool things, and Christian challenged and he tackled, and he had a penalty, and then they late in the game, I don't know, made a mistake. But I think Christian's going to be just fine. He triggered, he tackled. I thought he was trying to do the things that we want him to do. Just had a mental error late in the game.
Okay, it started out.
I love Vrabel.
I felt like massacring Christian Fulton. Like, do your job. Like, dude's not doing his freaking job, and it's driving me nuts.
Do you think while he was talking that clicked in his head?
Yes.
We heard the real Coach Vrabel the first 15 seconds, and then he went, "Oh crap!
And then he was
I need
like,
to clean this
God,
up."
I better soften this for this dude.
But see, that's why I asked Coach Mack that. Like, is this defense like not doing its job? Like, how are they not as good as these other defenses that we've seen? Or is the offense that bad against the defenses they're going against? You understand what I'm saying? Like the Saints. I don't believe the Saints are that much better than the Titans defensively.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the Browns are that much better defensively than the Titans.
No. It's the offense. It's the
offense that's playing against the opponent.
Oh. So I thought you were saying it's the Titans' offense, the lack of complementary football.
Right. So
I am.
So how much is the Titans' offense helping the opposing defense look better?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because the Titans' D, man, is like, it's good. But is it because they're not doing their job? That's what I was asking Coach Mack. Are they not doing their job also? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be something, man. Like, they ain't that bad. What we just saw. Like, they couldn't even tackle Deshaun Watson. I know he's a guy.
What did Don say about Ryan Tannehill the other day?
What?
Not the other day. Last year.
He's not that bad.
Same thing.
Yeah, this
like
T-shirt. That's right.
Right, Tannehill.
And I don't want to do that with the defense because I know the defense serious. I think it was, but I'm.
Oh, they could be much better.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Listen, man. They know. Look, one thing we know about that defense is that they're a bunch of dogs out there.
Yeah, they know how to rap.
And they know they've got a wounded dude at quarterback that they're going against.
Go get them.
And you know what else? They've heard all week how bad they were.
Yeah.
Which we disagreed on certain things, but I mean, they know they got a quarterback that offense likes to throw the football. You heard, I mean, Joe Burrow threw 49 passes with a calf injury. Like, this is a test for the secondary. Here you go. Test for the pass rush. Get to that guy. And this defense, we know, is a unit that has a chip on their shoulder always.
Right.
And is probably tired of licking the wounds from last week.
And just like Euro said, like, they haven't won a game against Cincinnati since what, 2017?
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been the defense's fault. So I expect them to still be. They've always been able to get to Joe Burrow. You know, so I expect them to be able to do the same thing
And
in this.
still lose games.
And still lose, but offensively, okay.
Yeah.
Talking about the Titans' offense, and like I know a lot of people are talking about, Wayne and Mick, you've been talking about, like, what's their identity? And I think they're still trying to get there, honestly. But Mike Vrabel talking about, do they get different looks when Tyjae Spears is in the game?
I mean, I think we probably saw the same structure. You know, I don't think we saw, see an uptick in cover 2 when Tyjae's in there. You know, we've tried to run some of, the third down is third down. When he's out there as a third down back, it's probably a little different. So if you look at 3rd and 10 on third down, probably going to be in some split safety coverage as opposed to when he's out there in 1st and 10.
Hey, he answered the question there.
Yep. So what do you do?
Yeah,
then?
and I think there probably aren't that many. Like, you've got 3 data points really with what this offense is with Tyjae Spears, right? So I think people are going to play them more straight up right now while they figure out what the Titans typically do.
So
we know they're different offensively because of him, but I think opposing defenses are going to be a little more straight up trying to figure it out.
So on Monday, I was hearing callers call in, and when talking about the identity of the Titans offense, people were saying, man, you got to give Derrick Henry the ball. Like, got to get it to him 20, 25 times. It doesn't matter if you give him the ball and the person that's handing him the ball has an opponent as an option for the handoff as well. Like, it's like they're in the backfield. So it don't, like, he keeps saying, like, he got to get going. He got to get, how?
He ran 32 yards to get 20.
You feel me? Like,
after contact, 32 after contact to get 20.
I would almost say let's reverse the roles. Like, let's start out with Spears and let him go out there and be the workload, and then
let's
get the King in to finish it off.
Complimentary back.
Yeah, like let him come finish it off. By that time, with him back there, you don't know what to expect.
That was like when you were the 6th man.
There you go. You think somebody can mess with him?
Y'all think we're out here running, y'all?
Wait till he get in.
Slay's coming in.
Oh, Jay, we got to deal with him. Look at him. He come out with his chain.
And they're already breathing heavy?
Yeah, it's on. Like, it's got to be something, man, because I agree. King, got to get his touches, but it don't matter if he get touches as somebody in the backfield. What we doing? Might as well go and start. Just go 5 wide.
Do y'all want to know how Ryan Tannehill keeps the past out of his head? The past with the Bengals out of his head?
Yeah, last year doesn't matter. Whether you beat a team last year or lost to a team last year, those plays have no effect on this game, right? So it's a matter of going out, executing, making sure that we're on top of the details. It's a big emphasis for us this week is that we're on top of the details and can execute and make the plays that arise for us.
That's the worst Ryan Tannehill answer ever
in the history of a lot of bad answers.
And there have been some bad answers from Tanny. That's terrible. Slay might lose his mind right now.
Hey, man, dude, like...
Where's your competitive edge, dude?
Yes, it does matter. It does. It matters.
He follows it up with this great just vote of confidence for the offensive line that's just going to make you laugh.
How could you... They have been the thorn in your side. Damn, just the Titans. In your side. Like, depending on you to throw the game away. It does matter. I'm going to go out here and handle it head on. 2 feet down, 10 toes down. Let's get it on. I'm coming for y'all.
Let's get it on.
I understand maybe that's not your personality, but it got to be this game.
Well,
you got to inject somebody else, man.
You can say something differently without giving bulletin board material, right?
I want to hear that again when we come back. Also, Hunk mentioned it.
Cincinnati kept saying last year, this is not
we
another game.
We need a whole segment for the offensive line Tannehill sound.
Lord.
So
it's just going to be laughter.
It's going to have to be.
I'm just gonna
that's
pay the
going to have
water
to be
bill.
after the break.
All that's coming up next. Stay tuned. You're going to want to hear it. Also, you can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Laura says, "Good grief, Tannehill." Vashawn says, "What?" DHB says, "This guy." We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, people? You're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology with top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work, guys. You need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration from their experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Nashville can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix hair loss today. Starting with your free consultation, you'll also get $500 off. If you move forward, call 629-348-HAIR. Redefine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that advanced hair guarantee. 629-348-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
In the last couple of days, 383
3HL 104.5 The Zone. You want to hear that Ryan Tannehill cut again?
No.
Yes.
I'm tiebreaker. Yes.
He's driving me nuts.
All right. How do you keep the past with the Bengals out of your head going into this weekend? QB1 said.
Yeah, last year doesn't matter. You know, whether you beat a team last year or lost to a team last year, those plays have no effect on this game, right? So it's a matter of going out, executing, making sure that we're on top of the details. You know, it's a big emphasis for us this week is that we're on top of the details and can execute and make the plays that arise for us.
Okay. I've calmed down a little bit.
He sounds like a robot, though, right?
I know, but he has to say that.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I ain't on board with him on that one.
But the first time you hear it, it just rubs you the wrong way, right?
Yeah, like it rubs me a lot of the wrong ways. Especially like it does matter. Yeah, I understand it doesn't affect the plays in this game that's going to take place today. But dog, man, like they said it coming into it. Everybody played it up. It's not a revenge game for Cincinnati. Not around here. No, we're not going to buy into that. You know what Cincinnati said? Man, we got them. We coming back down there to do the same thing. And they brought that same attitude out there on the field. That's why they talk funky. Walking away off the field.
They did.
Old linemen and everything, to the crowd and everything.
They said
that's
it was
disrespectful.
personal.
Exactly. It's disrespectful, man. It do mean something. And for it not to mean something, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Although, I'll say this, it's hard for him to say something different when this offensive line is what it is.
Very true.
I mean, and his response when asked about the offensive line is exactly what I'm talking about. Listen to this. What gives him confidence that the offensive line will give him time to throw this weekend?
I have to go out there and believe they're going to make it happen. You know, I think that's what we all have to expect of each other is that you got to trust the guy beside you, in front of you, behind you to do their job and in order for you to do your job. So we'll work this week in practice. We'll build that confidence throughout the week in practice and, carry it into Sunday.
Does it mean something to y'all that he used the word believe and didn't say, I know the guys are going to get it done?
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't even say, I believe they'll get it done. He said, I have to believe that they'll get it done.
Correct. There's not a whole lot of confidence there.
He's saying it's
and
a rough time
why should
back
there
here.
be?
Yeah, it's a rough time back here. Like,
Hendrickson will line up opposite Andre Dillard. He had 10 pressures last week, Monday.
I kind of feel him. Now, a little bit now, when you put it like that. Like, I've been standing up to him all my life, and that just kept me running for my life. I just hope, golly.
What is this music?
I believe I can fly.
Yeah. I mean, if we're believing in things, then R. Kelly tells us to believe he can fly.
Oh, jeez.
Andre Dillard's given up 6 sacks the last 2 weeks.
Cosell tomorrow.
You're going to want to hear it.
Yes. There's not going to be a change on the offensive line this week. But this week's performance could prompt one.
Mainly because the guy that we need's like below weight because he's lost a ton of weight because his appendix burst.
Right. That's one. And two, new tackle Justin Murray. I mean, do you make a change there? Do you give him a go? You kind of have to see what he can give you.
Right, and then if you want to put Skoronski there, then you've got a guy coming off of what happened to him, his appendectomy, his appendix burst, Don.
Yes, it burst.
And he's a rookie, and he hadn't played tackle in the NFL.
All those things.
And if Murray was good enough to do it, wouldn't he have been the choice?
I'm trying to stay positive.
How are you staying positive? You got your head in your hands.
I know. That's weeping. Was what I was doing.
This is the Michigan look all over again.
No, this is the thing. Like,
you just got to believe.
No, if Tannehill's running for his life, Derrick Henry he don't even get to run for his life. Like, he got to face it head on. Like, at least Tannehill could snap it and run away.
It looked like Derrick Henry was running into traffic.
He was stiff-arming everybody. Like, when the stiff-arm scepter don't work, you got a problem.
Like, he's looking at West End, and it's busy, and he just runs right out there. That's what Cleveland looked like.
Come on, O-line. Hey, listen. Hey, Dillard. I believe in you, my brother.
You have to believe it.
I do, man. Like, you you take them pointers that Miles gave you, man, and you run with them.
Write them down.
Yeah, put them in your helmet.
No, like just choose a wall in your house or condo, whatever you got, and just put it in Sharpie, like in big letters. Like number 1, do this. Number 2, do this. Just right there on the wall.
Listen, man.
If he were to win Offensive Lineman of the Year, does he thank Myles Garrett at some point in time in his speech?
Like he doesn't give up another sack the rest of the season and gets like the best PFF grade in the history of offensive linemen.
Y'all are crazy.
From week 3. Hey, Myles Garrett's something different now.
Happen.
I mean, Myles Garrett might be the offensive tackle whisperer. Who knows?
Just don't hug. Push one down. I know you probably see. This is the thing.
Like when kids about football.
Yeah, like when kids are big. When kids are big, this is a disadvantage for them. When kids are bigger than everybody else, he was probably bigger than everybody else growing up.
Right.
They always tell you, don't be so physical. Like, don't hurt them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So it's probably carried over into
you
this.
think
Is that what they told you growing up?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, Dillard. You don't got to believe in that no more.
So,
You're in the league now.
If his mom or his grandma was at the game, they need to not go to the game. Because they were the ones telling him, hey, you can't be so rough with these.
Yeah, but you have the opportunity to be rough this time. It's okay.
Yeah, but maybe he
This
psychologically
conversation right now.
maybe psychologically he won't be rough unless they're out of the building.
So he's in the mind of a 10-year-old.
Well, the mom and the grandma, like he sees them in the crowd, he's like, oh yeah, I can't be rough because they always told me that.
Okay.
So they got to leave.
Get him out of here.
What's up next, huh?
That would be Titans tonight, but if it was the 3HL after party, it'd be brought to you by Awaken 180. But it's Titans tonight.
Smyrna, Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. Be there. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be.